He has a bounce. He crosses 50. He pins the ears back and he drills the goal. You can tweet that and hashtag it bloody good.
It goes high up and under the full foot. Becky's taken a ripper!
Makes a name for himself with these long bombs from outside the arc. It's a long bomb from outside the arc.
Hello and welcome back to Saturday afternoon amateur footy. We return for round 13 of the William Buck Premier Men's season after the Big V break, ahead of 6 crucial Saturdays of home and away football before we know it, finals will be upon us in the Ammos. We're live this afternoon from Camberwell Sportsground here in Melbourne's East, and we've got a ripping game of footy ahead. Old Scotch taking on Old Brighton, the grand final rematch of 2024, and the reigning premiers, the Cards. They've got a bit of work to do if they want to be able to defend their title this year. They're a game outside of the top 4, whereas the Tunners, they're second on the ladder, 4 points clear inside the finals playing positions, and have bossed the first phase of the season on their way to a 10-2 record as it stands today. It's the VAFA William Buck SEN match of the day, live on vafa.com.au and the SEN website and app. Paddy Grindlay with you here again this afternoon, and the best analyst in amateur football, Hugo Higginbotham, has returned from a very busy few weeks indeed, and he's still happy to jump on the airwaves and chop it up with the likes of us. Hello, Hugo.
G'day, Paddy. Great to be here in this historic grandstand we are, and it's great because we've got a roof over us today, because I think there's a bit of precipitation coming, and I'm glad I got that out. But what a game we have today. Been looking forward to this one. Both sides have a lot of vested interest in this. They both need this win. It's a must win. I know we've only got 6 to go, but it's going to be a very exciting game today, Paddy.
This is the Saturday warm-up thanks to Mequicare, providing care for more than 16,500 people each week across Greater Melbourne and regional Victoria since 1959. And of course, Hugo is with us, all thanks to HitIQ and its game-changing Protect Concussion Management System. Use the code VAFA50, that's VAFA50, to get $50 off at hitiq.com, HITIQ.com. Important stuff they do there, Hugo, and of course they've redoubled down on their sponsorship of your special comments, which are of course world class. Before the bounce today, Hugo, we'll also hear from our boundary rider Raj Johnston with both coaches, Mark Natt of Old Scotch and Marcel Bruin of Old Brighton. Simon Petch will join us with his world famous ground report, and we'll touch on the other games going on around William Buck Premier Men's. Hugo, I want to start with Old Brighton. The premiership case is a pretty compelling one. I want to go through this specifically with you. 10-2, 2.5% off first placed Old Zavs, also on 10-2. The Tunners number 1 for disposals, number 1 for contested possessions, number 1 for inside 50s and tackles. They're the number 2 scoring team in the competition behind the Zavs. They concede on average the lowest score per game in top flight. This is a seriously good footy team.
Well, where do I sign up, Paddy? They're amazing results there, but they're coming off a loss. In this game, they really want to maintain that top 2 spot, get the double chance, and this is a really important one for today for that. I know there's a bit of the Tullamarine flu going around. We've come off the double bye. Some guys stay away an extra week after the double bye, so this is a game of who's got the most available players at the moment, I think, Paddy. But Brighton, they've done a power of work this year, and they want to continue that today.
Yeah, your best ability is availability at this time of year, Hugo Higginbotham.
That's good. That's very good by you, Paddy.
Let's go down to our boundary rider, Raj Johnston. He's got the coach of Old Brighton, Marcel Bruin.
Thank you, Paddy. Thanks for your time, Marcel. Appreciate your access as always. Back after a couple of weeks off, there's been a bit of changes in your team the last few weeks, holidays, some unfortunate injuries. Lots to go today. Is there a bit more stability?
Oh, but not so much stability as yet, Raj. We still got a few guys that we're expecting back from their holidays. But yeah, we get a couple of guys back that played against Uni Blues before the bye. So Hamish Dick and Tom Yorgie come back, which will be really helpful from an experience perspective. But yeah, we're just looking to get these guys connected as much as we possibly can and get them competing all together.
You beat Old Scotch earlier in the season. What will be the keys to victory in today's game to do that again?
Yeah, we've played a lot of footy against Old Scotch. I think both teams probably know really what both teams want to do. I think if we can limit and impact Scotch's ability to transition the ball really effectively by foot, then we probably give ourselves an opportunity. We've got to defend the ground really, really well, and when we turn that into offence, try not to give the ball back, because they're a great marking side as well, particularly in their backs. So try and take away what they're really good at would be the optimal sort of game style, and then look to obviously just get to work.
Just interested to know too, what's the squad been up to over the last couple of weeks? Were you still up to the regular training schedule, or was there a bit of time off? How did that all work?
No, we gave them a lot of time off. Everyone needed a bit of a break, if I'm honest. It's solid first half of the year, or first 2/3 of the year, I should say. So, yeah, we brought them back the Thursday of the second bye just to get a little bit of run in, had a little Saturday session, and then training as per normal this week to try and be as effective as we can today.
Should be a ripper today. Thanks for your time, Marcel.
Good on you, Raj. Thanks, mate.
Back to you, Paddy.
Thanks, Raj Johnston, and also Marcel Bruin for their time there as part of the pre-game show. That's all thanks to Mequicare. Interesting few notes there from our man Marcel Bruin, Hugo Higginbotham. He seems to have heard what you said earlier about losing players to the Tullamarine flu, but it is a better side than what we saw these last couple of weeks ago against St Kevin's for Old Brighton, with the returns of Kai Dimatina, Hamish Dick, Tom Yorgie, and also Matt Spears in for his debut.
Yeah, great inclusions there, but look at the players they've got in the side as well. You've got Harry Hill, he was the captain of the Big V, amazing player, and then Fisher, Hope, Butler, guns everywhere in there. It's a very good side.
Raj Johnston, he's a very busy boy. He's now joined by the coach of Old Scotch, Mark Knapp.
Thank you, Paddy. Thanks for your time, Mark. You've got a debutant today. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, late change, Raj. Henry Kemp's in. He played in under-19s last year, so he's played a bit of twos, had a few issues with his body over the years. He was actually on a waffle list a few seasons ago, so he can certainly play, but yeah, it's just about when he gets his chance, and Simo's out, so Kemp is in.
And aside from that, any other changes from last game?
Yeah, a couple of other ones. So Lockie Dennis is back in the side today, and Sammy Grant, so Sammy will be pretty handy. So yeah, looking forward to see how they go.
So what did you learn from the last time you played the Tunners? What are going to be the keys to victory today to settle the score?
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get our hands on it this time. We struggled last time, to be honest. So, it's going to be interesting with the conditions, and we know how they play, and obviously they've got a few guys out like we do. So it'll be a really interesting battle and game of attrition, really. So I think for us, we can get our hands on the footy and try and challenge them a bit, which we didn't really do last time.
We look forward to speaking with you later on. Thanks for your time.
Good on you. Thanks, Raj.
Thanks to Mark Knapp, the coach of Old Scotch, for his time. Again, all thanks to Mequicare. So the corresponding game last time out, Hugo Higginbotham. The Tunners kept Old Scotch to what's still their lowest inside 50 total of the year, just 33. Their worst scoring efficiency per inside 50, 33%, and their lowest score of the season, 31 points. So plenty of fire in the belly today for the Cards.
Yeah, certainly a long time ago, and that was at Brighton Beach Oval too. So Brighton are about a 6-goal better side on that ground as well. So they'd be loving you playing that there today. But just very different sides rolled out in that game. So we probably put that one to bed, Paddy, and I know that Scotch would be keen to do that. But it's a game today that Scotch really want to own them on this ground. They've had great history here, great record against Brighton here, and they'll want to continue that today.
Yeah, that they do. I think I was going through the research on the greataustralianfootball.com database that's available to us, and I think the last time that the Tunners actually won a game at this ground against Old Scotch was something like 2016. There's a draw in 2017, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. So it's not a ground that they're used to coming to and winning Old Brighton. And of course, it was this corresponding game last year where the Tunners came to the home of the Cards and they were shown up by some brash young upstarts, Ollie Barter, Angus Simons, in that game of footy. I'm told that Ollie Barter will play back today, where he's had a bit of recent experience at his time with Carlton VFL. Let's bring in the fourth member of our commentary team today at Camberwell Sportsground. It's a big hello to Simon Petch, who's back at the home of his favourite grandstand in the VAFA. Welcome back to Camberwell, Petchy.
Yeah, Paddy, good afternoon to you and to Buttons and to Hugo and to Raj. Nice afternoon. It's overcast, it's dark. They might have to put the lights on here soon. We've had no rain so far today, but I guess it's on its way, going by the forecast. But the ground's in really good order. We haven't seen this look any drier than it does today. There are brown patches all over the ground, green patches in the centre area, and the breeze blowing to the bowling club end of the ground. So I guess whoever wins the toss will kick down towards that end. But conditions are terrific for a good game of footy today.
Bit of housekeeping before we get back down to Raj Johnston with the toss of the coin and the forecast for this afternoon. You can watch some other games of VAFA footy on Community TV, where Collegians are playing the University Blacks out at the Harry Trott Oval. They've won their last two games, the Lions. They just creep clear from the relegation zone for now, and they continue on that path with a win at home over Dale Bowers Blacks, who had a much improved middle part of the season. Old Haileybury, they're hosting the ladder leaders, the Old Zavarians, on VAFA TV. That one is a ripper. Massive for the top four as the Bloods try and shore up their place in third in their graduate year in top flight after winning the Premier B Premiership in 2024. And also on VAFA TV, the Port Melbourne Chargers, they're about to kick off against Marcelin in a Premier B women's clash, so plenty of footy on. And a reminder also that you can choose to watch this game, not just listen to it, on VAFA TV, as well as the SEN app feature. The last thing I'll get to before we can talk more footy is that if you are at the ground today and you're listening to our call on the SEN app, I hope you've brought your headphones along because you can enjoy our commentary in real time via SEN's stadium technology on the SEN app, which is available for iPhone and Android and also works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Hugo, Petchy, let's go through the tips for today. It's a pretty tough one to tip correctly because you expect Brighton 10-2 to continue on its merry way, but we know about the guys who are out for them. Crucially, it's their tall stocks that I'm worried about. Sam Flockhart's done for the year with that ACL that he injured in the Big V game, which was terrible to see. Max Benier a few weeks before him did his ACL. He's gone. So that's two members of their tall timber squad, as it were, out of the game, out of the rest of the season, rather. Felix Flockhart's not playing today as well. So they're down 3 key talls against a Scotch team that love to go through the likes of Will Clark and Sam Grant through the middle of the ground. Hugo, does that affect the way that you look at this contest?
It does. It certainly does. You like those players out there, which is very disappointing. But I've just picked up the app and there is a bit of precipitation coming, so that's changed my tip. I'll be going with Brighton today, purely on the class of the players in their midfield.
Yeah, that's the big question for me today. So you look at the games played feature. Harry Hill, 154 senior games. Tom Fisher, 155 senior games in the bank. They'll start at the first centre throw-up of the game. They'll be going head-to-head with the likes of Andy Gelbart and Jack Lipscomb in there, which is going to be a wonderful clash to watch. But I think the Tunners will be leaning on their experienced guys for the next couple of weeks as they hope to shore up their tall stocks especially.
I think so. Look, there's a lot of games of experience there from both sides. Yeah. That's going to be a great one to watch there. But I think, Scotch really want to get this game as a win, just to get these last 6 weeks going for them, because they need to do that because they're out of the 4 at the moment. They need this win today to maintain that touch with the 4. It's going to be a very hard 4 to get into if you're on the out. It's always hard to get in something when you're on the outside, I suppose, but you don't want to be on the outside of the 4.
It's a really well-balanced thing, isn't it? Because Scotch is 6-6 with 6 games to go. How much do you want it? And it's a pretty tough run home. We'll get to what they've got to come in just a few moments' time, but I believe they've only got one more game at Camberwell Sportsground for the rest of the season, which is coming against St Bernard's in a few weeks' time. Next week, the Oldsavarians, then the Blues, both of those games on the road. St Bernard's at home, then the Blacks and the Bloods away. So one more game at Camberwell Sportsground for the rest of the year for Old Scotch. So if they want to start this run to the finals off, today's the day. You've just got to do it against one of the best teams in the Ammos. They did it on Grand Final Day. Last year, of course, a very different team with the likes of Ryan Valentine and James Tarrant fronting up on that afternoon, as we've just seen a toss here at Camberwell Sportsground. Let's get back down now to Raj Johnston on the boundary. Who's kicking what way, Raj?
Thanks, Paddy. Yeah, as we just saw, Old Scotch have won the toss and will be kicking to the Bowls Club end of the ground. I reckon there's a bit of a breeze going that way, so that would explain that. As for conditions, bit envious of you three who are under the shelter. As Hugo said, there is a little bit of precipitation expected, just spitting down a bit here at the moment. Not going to get extremely heavy, I think, but there might be a bit of rain as the afternoon goes on. It's about 13 degrees at the moment. It feels like temperature of 9, so it's going to be a great contest today.
I've always said that Jane Bunn should watch out for a job when you're around Raj Johnston. I think we will get a bit of spit if you make Hugo say precipitation one more time in this pre-game show.
I'm giving up on that. That's done for me now.
Doing a wonderful job down there, Raj. One more question before you go. Can you put a goals figure on that breeze that's blowing towards the bowling club end of the ground, which is to the right of your picture if you're watching on VAFA.com.au and to the right of your radio dial if you're listening in?
Always risky business asking the boundary rider to make these big predictions, Paddy, but we'll see what happens as the afternoon goes on. Maybe 3-4 goals to start off with. Let's see.
That's a gale.
I thought you were going with the old Jason Bennett Splinters method to start there, Raj, but you've given us a figure well done. We'll be catching up with you across the course of the afternoon. Raj Johnston, our boundary rider today, as he mentions, bravely dealing with the conditions here in Camberwell. Simon Petch, your thoughts on the winner of this game? Who wins and why?
Yes, well, the thing is, for me, I'm not sure where the goals are coming from today from both sides. I can see it being quite defensive and low scoring. This ground lends itself to high scoring, high running, fast football. But I don't know today where the goals are coming from, who's going to kick them. It could be a draw. It could just be a draw because I have got no idea.
What, nil all?
Well, no. I'd say probably less than 10 goals either side. I just don't know where they're coming from. The day lends itself to good scoring. But to me, I don't know. I really don't.
Well, don't remind Hugo of draws after he dealt with the Big V Premier Beta Division 3 team having to go to extra time to defeat the Bendigo Footy League. I think your blood pressure's just come down to normal after assistant coaching in that game, Hugo.
Yeah, no, it was a tense time, and it's the first one I've ever been involved with. It was quite interesting.
How long have you been involved in footy for?
Since before you were born.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No, first extra time. Back in the good old days, we used to stop it was a draw, and then you'd shake hands and then sort it out in the car park later. But no, it was good fun.
Yeah, not sure about this overtime business. The first quarter's ahead for us for McQueen Financial Group, an Old Scotch Premier partner since 2016, celebrating their 31st year of providing specialist advice in wealth, lending, account and insurance. I might get them to help me out, to give their clients confidence and freedom to spend time on the important things using their 3 C's proven approach of clarify, certainty and control. Not too far away from the start here at Camberwell Sportsground. Here's the voice of Simon Petch.
Good on you, Paddy, and Grant and Olivia to go this ruck contest in the middle of the ground to get this underway. Both got a hand onto it, and who'll get it out of the centre? We're all fighting for it in there. Lowen's got a hand onto it. His tackle brought to ground. We'll have it all over again. I'd say about 2 goals towards the bowling green end of the ground. That's the end in which Scotch kick in this first term, favoured by the breeze. Thrown in the air again. Grant got it down. Gregson a handball. Gelbert got a handball out. Now Gregson followed it up. Handball to Cam Peely. Brighton go forward. Up towards Dick. It bounced at his bootlaces. He didn't go. Left it for Walsh. Handball Lipscomb. Goes back into the middle. Hayes a little fumble. But at half back he got the handball out. But then Pryor chopped it off. Brighton go forward into full forward.
It's a goal!
Kick! And Pryor's kicked the first goal of the afternoon. A beautiful drop punt from the pocket, the Camberwell Road side of the ground. And Ben Pryor opens up the first goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, I expect we're going to have to see that today for Brighton. So you didn't know where they're coming from, Petchy? There's one there.
There's one there. That only took not even a minute. And Pryor kicks the first for Brighton.
And that was just that little errant handball over the shoulder by Scotch, and then a handball to Precious. So that execution was amazing. Then I was right behind that too. That was dead straight.
Great. It was a terrific kick.
Yeah, it was good.
That's what you like to see. Drop punts off the boot into goal. Yes.
Special comments for Hit IQ this afternoon from both Simon Petch and Hugo Higginbotham. If we're not careful, ball back in the air and Hayes and Gregson fight over it. It's Dimartino though to the outside, and Yorgi, who goes past halfway. He was pushed as he kicked, and that'll be a downfield free. So it'll be taken by Hamish Dick. His head is bandaged, gents, because he had some plastic surgery a couple of Sundays ago to glue together his face just about, Hamish Dick, after a brutal hit. But they'll be happier for him inside 50. That's a dicing kick, but Lipscomb cuts it down of old Scotch in the right back pocket.
So I'll just be interested to see what Grant does here. He's in a really good position in the middle of the ground. They've got to use him. He's got a lot of height advantage. He's one to watch today.
So Lipscomb down the small grandstand wing he goes. Rebounds Yorgi from 3 deep with the fist, and he gets it out of bounds. Brady helping also of old Scotch. It'll be thrown in between wing and half forward for Brighton. They lead this by a kick, 1 straight 6. Old Scotch yet to score. We've played just about 2.5 minutes in this first term. That's all thanks to McQueen Financial Group, Summerpitch.
So about to be thrown back in. Interchange side of the ground. Grant got that one down. Gregson roved it, then kicked it out of bounds on the full, and the resultant free kick to go Scotch's way here. Down at half back, a long way from home. Brighton have opened up the scoring. They've kicked 1 straight. Scotch yet to score. Hayes, an underground kick, didn't really help anyone. Hill went through, couldn't collect. Edgar, a kick off the ground. Hill head over the footy, ran straight into Walsh. Got the handball to Seagar, who got it back to Hill. And 50 out from goal. It's held up and we'll have a ball up.
Well, they were lucky there, Scotch. That was not the greatest execution. It was a very dangerous spot as well. So they've held this up well.
Thrown in the air. Now Gelbert gets through, handball over the top barter, now running through Dennis, through the middle of the ground for Scotch. He goes down to full forward. A clean bowl Morrisby by sideways really. They run back to meet it and they'll clear it here through Murray do Brighton. Out towards Seagar, close to the boundary line. He sees it over in front of the small grandstand and we'll have a ball in outer side of the ground.
Well, you can just see that every player was up the ground and that ball just kept carrying through. A little bit of breeze there, but Morrisby just a little bit too slow heading back towards goal there. So that's one to watch. He needs to stay closer to the goals.
Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ. 3.5 gone in the first term for McQueen Financial Services, as we've got a recalled throw-in by the looks of things in the right forward pocket for Scotch as the rain starts to fall here at Camberwell Sportsground. Didn't take long, did it, Hugo?
No, the radar didn't lie to me. I knew it was coming. How are you going down there, Raj?
That's not precipitation either. That is full-blown raindrops. Grant pushed out his man, gave it to Hayes off the contest. Left-footed kick, awkward looking. Cork dropped the mark. Montanaro cleans up for the Tunners, goes sideways. Murray, back pocket. Underground handball. Campielli's got a Stubbings problem, lost control of the footy. Back they go. Burn-Jones, inside 50, touched off the boot once more. Fisher takes the footy for the Tunners, clears the zone, kicks it straight to Brodie Easton. So Scotch controlling territory. Brodie Easton, just a tick over 22 disposals a game this year, drives it back inside 50. Might have been a bit overzealous with his entry. It goes just about out of bounds on the full. No, it was touched over by Tom Fisher of the Tunners, so it'll be thrown in left forward pocket here for the Scotchies.
Down at the Bowling Green end of the ground. That's the end in which Scotch kick in this first term. Rain falling. And Brighton lead. One straight goal to Scotch yet to score. That goal coming from Pryor. Thrown back in. Clark palmed that one down to the front of the pack. They go in after it again. Lowen was there. Now it's picked up. And pick off there by Montanaro, who ran it through. And a minor score going Scotch's way. That's their first, a minor one. They go into one behind 1 point. Brighton on one straight 6 for McQueen Financial Group. We've gone just on 9 minutes. 5 minutes.
Montanaro's exiting kick from the back pocket. Petchy, not much chop. It went over the head of his target and out of bounds again. So it'll be thrown in about 45 metres from the Scotchies' goal. Clark tries to take it out of the ruck, dispossessed. Fisher's got the footy for the Tunners, kicks it towards centre half back. Big pack of players, Hope on hands and knees trying to farm it out. Lipscomb waiting on the outside, has it now. Bangs it on the boot for Scotch, inside 50 or just to the edge of the arc. Dimatina, the representation for Brighton, though he's got an issue because Clark's there. The ball makes its way over the white line. It'll be thrown in once again. Small grandstand side, 55 metres out from Old Scotch's goal. Played in the Old Scotch half so far, Hugo Higginbotham.
It has, but Brighton got that score on the board early, so you're going to see some ruck dominance today because they've got Clark in the ruck up forward now and then Grant behind the ball of ruck as well. So they're both very tall players, so it's going to be hard for Brighton to get any sort of first hand on the ball.
Free kick going the way of Henry Brown out of that throw-in, Simon Petch.
So Henry's got it, 55 out. Goes in short to Clark and he marks inside 45, Bowling Green end of the ground.
So that was just the ruckman walking slowly back towards the forward line, left unattended there, and then a beautiful little hit up. So communication there.
So Clark's got it. He kicked 2 in their losing game 2 weeks ago, and he's looking at his first goal of the afternoon here today to put Scotch in front by a point. Bowling Green end. Not directly in front of goal. He's on a slide angle. He comes in, drop punt. That's not bad off the boot, but it goes across the face, minus score. Taking Scotch on to 2 behinds, 2 points. Old Brighton on one goal straight 6. We've gone 7 minutes for the McQueen Financial Group in this first term.
22 disposals and 54 hit-outs in that game also for Will Clark as Brighton get it just about to halfway down before they turn it over. Tawney marks on his chest. He turns it over in turn. Here's Pryor, the only goal kicker today. Across centre half back for the Tunners, a long way from home. Nice kick, Hamish Dick at full extension marks. Don't take that one out of context. He marks small grandstand side, neutral territory. Around the man of the mark, short kick along the boundary, might have been out in the full. Seagull didn't get to it in time, I suspect. So free kick going the way of Jack Brown, handful Scotch defender. 70 games, 2 goals before today, so loves that back pocket roll. Long left foot up to Jack Brown. Sits this one up nice and high. Morrisby comes from a couple deep. Had it pretty much to himself. Didn't take the mark. The debutant Kemp just manufactured a kick out of the pack. Clark's got it on the outside. 55 metres out. Keeps the drop punt low. Skims across the face of goal. And it will go over and out just about. Or Karayanis might get to it first. He's got help from Cork. It'll be thrown in beside the behind post. Left forward pocket for Old Scotch. Bowling club end of the ground, Hugo Higginbotham.
So Scotch pressing really, really high, and they're doing it well. They've got congestion around the middle of the ground, but they're just struggling with those couple of avenues to goal because they've won it and they had nothing to kick to then.
And Clark again having a shot. Thrown back in, Clark front berth. Olivia eventually got there. Fisher got a kick. Not outside the 45-metre arc defensively for Brighton. Now the head's over the footy. Barter a high tackle. Umpire's seen it and paid it. So Ollie Barter gets a free kick here for Scotch. Bowling Green end of the ground, a high tackle over the shoulder. And he'll go back and look at Scotch's first goal of the afternoon.
Seeing a lot of congestion out there early. There's a lot of players around the ball and there's some you're going to get free kicks like this when there's such a contested game that we're going to have today. I think either side wants to take it on. They've got to use that lateral space and try and get some run and carry. I think they've got the wet weather in their head already, playing that footy before it even got wet.
So even So inside the centre square, Barter is. He'll run to the 45-metre mark, just inside. Drop punt, puts it on its way.
Beautiful.
Goal umpire doesn't move, and that's a goal. So Scotch kick there first. They go into 1-2-8. Leading Old Brighton on 1 straight 6, and Barter kicks his first goal of the afternoon. We've gone 9.5 minutes in this first term for the McQueen Financial Group.
So beautiful execution on goal there. It was a lovely, lovely, lovely kick, and they needed that one as well. So let's have a look at this clearance we're going to come up to now, because we've got Sam Grant, who's the premier ruckman of the competition. He's a big V ruckman and played very, very well there. And you got Olivier, who's probably giving away 7 or 8 inches in the old scale, Petchy.
But he sure is.
He's going to have to get some physicality in there, otherwise it's just going to be the Cardinals with first hands on the ball all day.
Yeah, Sam Grant, big boy. He's measured at 199 centimetres a couple of years ago. I dare say he's ticked over the 200 mark.
Just give him that extra centimetre.
Yeah, Montanaro off the back of the circle. So it is Brighton to get the clearance. A high kick. Lawrence should swallow this up, drop the mark. Dick at ground level tries to pick up the footy. Doesn't. Hill's got Tawny. Takes him down. Centre half forward for the Tunners. 1-2-8 Old Scotch. 1 straight 6 Old Brighton. 10.5 gone for McQueen Financial Group in this first term. Grant spikes it down. Cariana slays the Shepherd. So Dimatina has an unimpeded run. Feeds it back. Butler was collared as he kicked it inside 50. Brady with the big fist. A whistle for a hold, I reckon. And it's going the way of Old Scotch. Lawrence to take the free kick as a Cardinal very slow to get up. Sam Grant. Oh, yeah, he is properly
Lawrence
dropping.
got into his back. Yeah. In that contest, he's virtually got and cleaned his own man up.
Yeah, we'll just have a little break as Sam Grant clears away from the zone where the football is. Hands on the back of the head for big Sam Grant. It looks to be that left foot which is causing him some issues. So he looks to be Simon Petch trying to continue on at least at this stage.
I think he got a knee right above the left buttock.
Absolutely. He flew back with the flight. Lawrence was there and just cleaned him up basically from behind. Lawrence got the kick, then the handball came back to him. So Scotch go forward through the middle of the ground. Morrisby there, couldn't hold on to that one. Gregson at his bootlaces, couldn't pick it up. Morrisby goes in again, got the handball away from Edgar. He found Walsh, away he goes. Scotch forward towards half forward. Mark taken here by Henry Brown. He goes in towards goal, and it goes through.
Yes, that's a goal.
So a goal there to Henry Brown and Scotch. That's their second. They go on to 2-2-14. Brighton on 1 straight 6. And for McQueen Financial Group, nearly 12 minutes played in this first term.
You just see the value of going straight up the middle of the ground there too. So Lawrence with that great kick. Morrisby very strong there, followed it up, excellent, got the hands away. And then Brown just with that little sidestep at half forward and a great execution on goal. So that's a really good format for the Cardinals to use today. I mean, they are kicking with the breeze, so you expect them to dominate the scoring this quarter, but they moved it really well.
I'd say a little bit concerning, Hugo, that we had a stoppage in play, so the Brighton defence had time to set itself up, and Scotch still went right through them.
Yep.
The length of Camberwell Sportsground, so they lead it by 8 points, the home squad. They're trying to continue on that advantage. Is Tawny broke the Gregson tackle. He was clipped high in the process, so we'll get the football back. The Queenslander, first year at Scotch, out of Mount Gravatt. The Brisbane Lions Academy as well. Made a name for himself. Here's Barter. Small grandstand side wing. That kick hangs in the air a little bit for Farah, though he took the ball on the second opportunity, handballed it forward just to try and gain ground where it will be held up between the legs of Gelbart just about, who's always happy to impose himself at ground level. Right half forward flank, it'll be thrown in the air, 55 metres out.
I think it's been a free here.
Yeah, it's been picked out, so I think a little bit of work on the tonsils there from a few players, and a free kick picked out for Gelbart, so he'll make the forward entry here for Scotch, the skipper. Game number 183 of senior VAFA footy, the most experienced player on the ground today, Andy Gelbart. He kicks a ball burster all the way to the line. It's going very long indeed. It didn't give the forwards much of a chance in the end. It drifts through for a minor score to the right-hand side. Old Scotch, 2-3-15. Leading Old Brighton 1 straight 6. 13.5 gone in the first term, all thanks to McQueen Financial Group. Simon Petch and Hugo Higginbotham.
Clark was very animated in the goal square there. He wasn't happy with that shot on goal. He wanted it out in front to try and take a mark.
So Butler kicks the ball back in here for Brighton. He goes to Cam Peely and he takes the mark. Grant down on his haunches again. He's still not well.
No, he got hit off the ball then.
And he got himself back up. Cam Peely not sure what to do. Goes over Gelbart's head. Goes towards Brady there and Richardson. No one took the mark. Seagar roved it okay. Brought to ground by Grant. And the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. So he rushes in, grabs the footy out of Seagar's hand, throws it in the air. Grant on his own, really. Got a handball, not a good one. Butler ended up with an upended great tackle. Laid on him, and Jack Brown it is, has got Henry Brown it is, has got the footy. He just kicked their last goal for them. So Henry's got it. He goes sideways here and he picks out Dennis and he takes the mark. Between half-back and centre wing, interchange side of the ground for Scotch.
So Dennis kicks it out of bounds on the full, straight into the Brighton box. So Yorgie will get the footy back for the Tunners. Defensive side of the wing, small grandstand side, as you say, Petch. 9-point game. Old Scotch with the lead. Kick to kick. Yorgie straight back to Dennis, who'll think better about going long down the line. Goes towards centre half forward. That kick hangs a touch. It was intended for Gelbart. Burn Jones is going to wait for this footy. Morrisby taken high.
Again.
So he's 60 metres out from goal. Big Fev Morrisby. He has got a long leg on him and he will have the assist of that breeze. Although if Phil Clark's got anything to say about it, he'll want it short. Morrisby goes to the left forward pocket instead, where he finds a man all by himself. Looks like Tommy Farah down there, who just drifted into open space. And takes the mark on his chest. They'll have a shot from 30 metres out. Pretty tough angle, Hugo.
I'll tell you why, because there was 6 defenders there all looking at Will Clark, who was moving around, and then Farah just at the side there, and a beautiful execution by Morrisby. Just put it out in front of him, and uncontested mark.
Obviously the decoy.
Correct. 25 disposals and a goal for the Big V under-19s team, Tommy Farah. So he comes in good nick, the former captain of Scotch College's APS team, who's got a beautiful right foot on him. No need to run around from the angle for Tom Farah. Puts it straight over the goal umpire's hat. Old Scotch have 3. 15-point advantage here at Camberwell Sportsground. 16 and a half gone. Thanks to a Queen Financial Group. 21 plays 6.
That's just an example there of Brighton over-focusing on Will Clark, because obviously when you talk about Scotch, you talk about Clark and Tarrant and players like this, and then now the whole back line was looking at him then.
Yes.
And so there are other avenues to goal.
And the decoy was Farah.
He certainly was.
He just snuck into that pocket. They saw him. He marked and kicked the goal. So back into the middle of the ground. Grant won that one down again. Hill roved it okay. Gregson at his bootlaces. Picked it up, got the handball out. Now Carianis has to give it back at Hill. For Brighton in the centre of the ground. To the main grandstand end he goes. With a kick up towards half forward. Good mark taken here by Jack Brown. He stood there at centre half back and took a good strong mark. He goes out wider here. Camberwell Road side of the ground. Carianis bent down, picked it up. Handball Olivier. Handball Hill. Kick towards half forward Travis. Well, he looked around. He saw Lawrence there. He then hesitated. Lost the contest and Easton kicks the ball back into the middle of the ground here for Scotch. They swoop on it. Now they get a handball here. Yorgie's got it for Brighton. Brings it towards the small grandstand side of the ground. Fist away there by... Fouled a header prior. That fist away was nearly okay. Barter ended up with it though for Scotch. Handball goes to Stubbings. Nearly run down by Edgar. Got his kick in towards the pocket. It dribbles towards the goal. Clark there, but he's run down. And Brighton will clear here through Carianis.
Yep, so Spears got it to Carianis, who's a long way from home in the right back pocket beneath the scoreboard. And he's forced to just hold and wait. So Scotch squeeze being applied to the Tunners. Nice kick though from Carianis to Olivier. Apologies to Cara, said that Gelbart was the most experienced senior player on the ground. It's actually Carianis, and by my count, game 199 in the seniors for the number 23. Here's Hill, got himself out of a sticky situation on the Camberwell Road wing and goes backwards. There's just nothing here though for the Tunners.
Scotch doing a great job of owning the middle of the ground here. They're happy to give away the flanks and the pockets, and it's working for them.
It's an uncontested mark game at the moment. Murray, Yorgie, might have a handball option over the top in Spears, one way then the other. Yorgie then props up the kick for Pryor, overkicked it, Suttles dropped the mark, tries to push it forward inch by inch. It goes into the hands of the debutant Kemp, who snaps it back to a dangerous position, 10 metres out from goal. It took a wicked bounce. Yorgie's got it, Fisher rather, and he goes sideways too. Yorgie kicks in the dick direction along the boundary line on the wing. It will go out of bounds on the full again. But a few of those, Hugo, to start this game of footy.
Yeah, it's because Scotch are really owning the middle of the ground, and so Brighton are trying to pick that apart, and they're just going way too wide, and then with a little bit of breeze about, they've over the boundary line, intercept marks, so it's playing really well by Scotch at the minute.
Yes, and they lead. They've got a good lead. 3-3-21 to Brighton. One straight 6. Jack Brown's got the footy in front of the small grandstand. He goes towards Clark. No one can take the mark. Ball hit the deck. Lowen applies a good tackle. He holds up play. Umpire
play ball.
has given a free kick.
Anyway.
To Lowen as he tackled, and that was against Kemp. And Lowen takes it down at the bowling green end of the ground. So he'll go small grandstand side. Kick up towards half-back. Gregson the target. Subtle there as well. But Gregson chimed in and took the mark here for Brighton and plays on. Didn't go over the mark. He's got to come back. Gregson remonstrating with him. Now he has to come back. And it gives Scotch time to set up.
Gave it full Christ the Redeemer there, Fraser Gregson.
Yeah, that rule's been around forever. It baffles me that players don't understand it.
It's a good kick to Edgar, right along the boundary line, some 2 metres inside the white line. Small grandstand wing, nothing from ahead of the footy. It's a high kick. Travers in a one-on-one with Lawrence and Brady comes across the front. It's a hold though. So a free kick going the way of Travers. It's Luke.
Grant's been down again off the ball. They're putting a lot of work into him and he's not looking too fresh.
Travers to the top of the square all by himself, just about his Subtle. He got clipped late by Seagar and 50.
Geez, the umpires are hot today, aren't they?
It was a hot whistle, though Seagar's collection of Subtle was late and across the face as well, so no arguments from either player. Max Subtle advances himself through centre half back. It's a very long 50 indeed. Ben Pryor standing just outside the centre circles. He'll go sideways Subtle here to Brodie Easton.
So Easton's got it on the right side for a left footer. Handball, Stubbing standing still, had to get rid of it quickly. He did. Troon was there, but chiming in is Hugh Byrne-Jones, and he takes the mark here. Camberwell Road side of the ground. He goes up towards the scoreboard and beyond. He goes to Clark. He couldn't take the mark. Ball fell to ground nearly low and applied a tackle. And we'll have a ball up in front of Scotch's goal down at the bowling road end of the ground. Olivia got a hand onto that one. Fisher a handball. Now in defence, they'll work it out here. Brighton go forward with a kick up towards Dennis though, close to the boundary line. He just kept it in. Handball Lipscomb. Handball underground. He got it to Gelbart, but he couldn't hold on to it. It goes over the line out of play. And we'll have a ball in. So in front of the small grandstand, Hugo.
It was a good exit by Brighton there, but they had nothing forward of that. They've got a lot of players around the ball, but no avenue past that.
Thrown back in front of the small grandstand, and Olivia got a hand onto that one, and Grant's given away a free kick. And it will go Olivia's way. Will it? Yes, it will.
Yeah, it's for a hold.
And he'll take it down in defence here for Brighton.
So on precipitation watch, it's just eased off a little bit in these last 5 to 6 minutes. So relatively clean footy as Grant comes across the face of the pack and takes a nice grab.
He's okay now, he can take those.
Yes, no, he's famous for that. But it's going to be an ongoing thing with him. They're going to put more work into him all day.
Sideways to Easton. He plays a bit behind the footy for Port Melbourne VFL, Sam Grant, where his ruck coach is Steve Alessio, is of course the coach of St Bernard's. A Scotch horseshoe the ground. The entry comes here from Walsh, deep inside 50. It's cut down though, the debutant Spears, who's been involved across the first 22 minutes of this first quarter. Takes it on the chest, the number 47, and goes sideways. Little fact for you on Spears, 107 games of under-19s, resis and thirds before his senior debut. For Matt, as Scotch intercepted at right half forward in the hands of Ben Hayes, Simon Petch.
So Hayes has got a 55 out from goal. Centres the ball. Clark the target. No, couldn't mark that one. Now the defence. Montanaro threw it out. Umpire said no. Play on. It goes to ground. They work it out through Hill. Handball to Fisher. They go towards Richardson. He had it inside the boundary line. He got it back to Fisher with a handball. Back to Richardson. Now Edgar. He missed Fisher with a handball. Now they go through again. Fisher on the deck.
And it's gone Brighton's way.
And a free kick going Brighton's way.
But just noticing, so Brighton did a lot of work in the back half of the ground there, but they had nothing forward. There was 5 Scotch players forward of the ball then. That was the only player forward.
So Hope goes with a kick, goes towards half forward. Nearly out of bounds on the full off.
It would have been, but the umpire's on the other
Scotch.
side.
Yes. That was subtle, but he never saw it. We'll have the ball thrown back in.
Very subtle.
Exactly. Oh, you beat me, Hughes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hate it when that happens. Just got told by a man, Bruce, on the buttons that wind's blowing a bit more into the pocket at the small grandstand side of the ground, which is perhaps why we're seeing so many balls going out of bounds on the full in this first quarter. 23 minutes gone for McQueen Financial Group as we're past halfway with the Scotchies again. Trying to involve himself again was Will Clark. Yorgi, big body contact on Bartlett. Comes to Hayes on the outside. Didn't take it cleanly, did Ben Hayes. There's a Brighton player who went in leading with the face.
Yeah, well, he kept going and he upended himself. He ran straight into a kneecap. He's up and about, is he now?
Yeah. Ended up with the ball.
Yeah.
No claret and the football, so a successful trip into the ankles there for Yorgi. on that left boot. Good to see him back in the team. Goes for Seagar, who went for a fly. Didn't get the assistance from down low to give him the extra boost. Grant's trying to pick up this footy at ground level. Couldn't do so. It's hacked down the wing by Dimatina. High in the sky, Travers and Brown and Suddle. Travers forced to spoil. Did a good job. Dick now with the pressure. Travers goes again. Lawrence bowls him over. Imposes himself as Dougie. Here's Richardson after it. A throw is picked out. A free kick going the way of Brighton and Cam Pearley.
That was a good bump.
He goes at it nice and hard, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to ask Doug Lawrence to put his head in the hole, do you?
No, exactly right. Neither Travis. They both had their head there, and Lawrence upended him beautifully. Here's Lipscomb, goes in short. He found Easton inside the centre square. 3-3-21 Scotch. One straight goal Brighton. We've gone nearly 24 and a half minutes in this first quarter. Ball up towards centre half forward. Dimatina chops it off. Had to get a kick away. He did. A wobbly one to centre wing. Carrianis read it beautifully. Handball. They go forward again. Brighton to Pryor. He takes the mark just before Jack Brown could get there. So out of sight of the ground, Camberwell Road side of the ground. Pryor's got it. The only goal kicker for Brighton in this term. He goes towards Dick. He goes towards the boundary line now. Richardson kept it in. Lawrence used his shoulder again, and he made sure that the ball stayed out and that Richardson was going nowhere.
His former Big V skipper Harry Hill just with a little pat in the backside for Doug Lawrence, who's been sharpening the shoulders all Big V break.
All in fairness.
Exactly right.
Yeah, very fair.
Grant to the front. Pryor, not again. Not again. Ben Pryor, he's missed to the left-hand side. Running perpendicular to the boundary, pulling the right foot, drop punt across his body. Too much swing. Old Brighton 1-1-7. That's all off the shoe of Ben Pryor. Old Scotch 3-3-21. 25 and a half gone in the first term thanks to the McQueen Financial Group.
Not a bad kick off the boot, but he was under a bit more pressure than his first shot today. That was a goal. Easton's got it, doesn't know what to do. Lawrence
it's been a free here.
will receive. I'll go back. Must be a rugby throwback, will it? No.
I think the umpire blew the whistle to call Brodie Easton to move on, and as he did, he kicked the footy.
Confusion.
So Lawrence, not a real good kick. Travers head over the football, goes to ground, Tawney into his back and gives away a free kick. So Travers will take this one right on the 45-metre arc. Main grandstand into the ground. 1-1-7 Brighton, 3-3-21 Scotch. 26 gone in this first term. And Travers has it. Goes to top of the square. Lawrence in front. And he took the mark. A good telling mark in the last line.
You take your pick of defenders there, Hugo.
They're lined up there. This is the problem. Brighton's got nothing tall forward of the ball, do they? They're very undersized today.
Stubbings with a bounce through half-back and through Lipscomb and Dennis. They'll work it out along the Camberwell Road wing. Past halfway. The handball, though, for Burne-Jones was errant and out of bounds. So they had a chance for a fast play. They won't get it. It'll be thrown in just in front of the cricket nets. Neutral territory. 21 play 7. 26 and a half gone for McQueen Financial Group in this first term. Of course, we'll have Raj Johnston at quarter time inside the old Brighton huddle, and we'll speak to Marcel Bruin about what he thinks of this quarter so far. Not been a great one for the Tunners. They're down by 14 points. Not quite the 3-goal lead that Raj Johnston predicted for us on the boundary. Thrown in. Olivier's after the footy.
He said 4, actually.
I was giving him the benefit of the doubt as this ball makes its way back over the white line.
No, we hold ourselves very accountable.
Territory here.
Yes.
Accountability.
Yes.
What it's all about. I said 2. Well, we can split it.
I did have to twist our man's arm, Raj.
Yeah, he's on the fence there, wasn't he?
We can split it, Raj. That's all right. Thrown back in, Camberwell Road side of the ground. Grant got that one down. Lipscomb roved it okay. Handball came out. Montanaro close to the boundary line and sees it over with Henry Brown, and we'll have a ball in.
Just around the grounds briefly from McQueen Financial Group. The Blacks by 8 points over Collegians at the Harry Trott. D. Larcell 29, St Bernard's 6 at St Bernard's College.
Oh, it's a big one.
About to be thrown back in again. Centre wing out of sight of the ground. Scoreboard side, Camberwell Road side. Grant over the back. Roving at Butler though. Brings it forward. Scrubby kick. A clean bowled Walsh. Ended up with Pryor. Handball Seagar. Kick towards centre half forward. Dick runs onto it. Bounced away from him. Bounced backwards to Lawrence, who got it to Hayes, who then gets it into Suddle in trouble. Hamish got him and brought him to ground. He'll go back and have a shot here for Brighton.
Well, that was excellent work there by Hamish Dick. That was a second effort as well. He was very unlucky with that bounce where Lawrence received that. It bounced over his head, but he came out of nowhere to affect that tackle there, which was really good. So well deserved this free kick shot on goal, and very important for Brighton. You know, the 28 and a half minutes gone. If they can get one back, then we're back to your 2-goal. Call pitch.
Just inside the 45-metre arc. It goes across. Hit the post as it was drifting.
Yeah, someone
and
bumped
only a
that post.
minus score.
That was interesting. Someone bumped that post there. Might have bumped it into the ball, I think.
All right. How hard are they bumping the
Yeah,
post
I don't
here?
know.
Andre the Giant.
It would have been Lawrence, surely.
It's an illusion.
He's still in trouble. He tried to handle over the top. His handball was intercepted. Travers, Finn Campilli, wrong side for a left footer. Charlie Richardson, right foot snap.
What a
Goes.
goal. What a goal.
The grandson of KB didn't even think about
On
the
the
handball,
buzzer.
and he timed it beautifully as well. The siren sounds here at Camberwell Sportsground. Old Brighton moved to 2-2-14. They cut the margin down to 7 points. Old Scotch 3-3-21. That quarter for McQueen Financial Group going 29 minutes, just over. 7 points the advantage to the Scotchies. Goals through Brown. That's Henry Brown, Barter and Farah for Old Scotch. Singles for Pryor, and then Charlie Richardson just on the buzzer for Old Brighton. We'll take a break. On the other side of this, the Huddle Report with Marcel Bruin and Raj Johnston. That's coming up shortly.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com. Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
3-3-21 Old Scotch, 2-2-14 Old Brighton. It was initially a 14-point advantage before Charlie Richardson, as the siren sounded pretty much for Old Brighton, snapped truly on the right to cut it down to 7 points. Old Scotch kicking with a breeze that quarter to the Bowls Club end of Camberwell Sportsground, but just a 7-point lead to show for it. Our Huddle Report is for Jellis Craig, Stonington and Broondera, a platinum partner of Old Scotch, and their success in real estate is stamped by over 50 years of service to these communities. They deliver exceptional results, high clearance rates and repeat business, and believe that the common goal between them and the customer is shared success. That's coming up shortly from the Old Brighton Huddle. We'll hear from Marcel Bruin as he speaks to his charges, but an opportunity now to go around the grounds briefly for McQueen Financial Group. Collegians 1 straight 6, trail the University Blacks 2-2-14 at the Harry Trott Oval. That game's on community TV, so you can watch that one at your leisure. No score yet from the University Blues St Kevin's game at Melbourne University Oval. Over at St Bernard's College, this is a turn-up for the books. The Snow Dogs 1 straight 6, De La Salle 6-5-41. Yet to win a game this year, Nick Highland's mob, but they've come out of the double bye with some fire in the guts. They're up by 35 points, late stages of that first term. How about this one, though? This won't make you too happy, though, Hugo Higginbotham. In South Caulfield, your stomping ground, it's the Bloods yet to score. The Old Zavs, 47. 7-5-47. So the red and black all over the Bloods at the moment. Let's throw it down now to Marcel Bruin, the coach of Old Brighton.
As a forward, that's the work rate we need. Connected with the backs. Defensive pressure was elite. That's all I need. We're sitting there when they get the ball back occasionally, particularly inside our forward 50. We're guarding grass. Mids, I can't have you on your heels. I need you to either pick up a player on transition or sit in the space and be active within the space. We're sitting there on garden grass and they're allowed to use that inside 45 or the lateral, which is opening up the far side of the ground. We don't want that to happen. If they get it, we want to keep them skinny. Now, we reverse the roles a little bit here now and we get to play with that wind, but we want to still generate that speed. As soon as we get speed on the ball, they look like they're under a bit of pressure defensively, yeah? So that requires creativity from our backs and the ability to run. But first and foremost, we need to defend first. We need to defend properly. When that ball comes inside, I think we're handing over or we looked like we were sitting there guarding grass. They were able to hit up the full forward, inside forward 50, and then the one over boundary side where they kicked 2 goals that they shouldn't have. We had our numbers inside the D50 to clog that up, all right? So just be focused. Stay in the moment. Know who you're on inside their forward 50 so we can defend that. And then when we get the ball back...
Great to hear from the coach of the Tunners, Marcel Bruin. Before we do hear from him and Raj, Hugo Higginbotham, I want to touch base with you. Did that reflect that first quarter, what Marcel just said about making sure that old Scotch can't outnumber them ahead of the footy?
Well, that was 100% right. I mean, they know the plan, the boys, but they're probably over-executing, and they've probably got 2 players playing the one role. But those couple of goals that were kicked, that's an accountability of individual players. There are 6 or 7 guys in the forward line. You don't have to worry about the 1 or 2 bigs because anyone can kick goals, as we saw. But the thing for Brighton as well, which Scotch are playing at, is Brighton don't have anyone tall in the forward line. So Scotch have got some really... Lawrence is an absolute gun down there as well, and with Grant getting back there, they're the only 2 marketed in the Brighton forward line. So Brighton have got to get away from any long kicking, especially this quarter, because with a breeze you can get carried away. Just kick the ball forward because you think we're going to take a mark. So I'd expect Scotch to really look at picking them off with those high entries this quarter.
Well, I think it's fitting of the contest that of all the scoring shots we've seen, very few of them have really been from set shots directly in front from long kicks inside 50. They've been pushing to the pockets, to the flanks. There've been some ripping goals. That running goal from Ben Pryor in the first minute, chief among them. But it hasn't really been a game for the long kick inside 50, such as the strength of both squads' intercept defence today. You mentioned Doug Lawrence and Sam Grant, who could pretty much raffle a couple of intercepts late in that quarter. Let's go back down now to Raj Johnston. He's got the coach of the Tunners, Marcel Bruin.
Thanks, Paddy. I've got Marcel Bruin with me. Probably a bit of a mixed quarter, Marcel. A lot of the times you get the ball inside 50 and be outmarked by a Scotch defender. Was that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what we didn't want to happen. We need that ball brought to ground at worst case. I think our entries were just a little bit too central in slow play, which enabled their backs to sit down. They've obviously got a couple of talls, and we're not quite as tall inside our forward 50, so the aerial ball is not going to work for us a lot on slow play. We need to use the lateral parts of the inside forward 50 for that to be more effective.
All the best, thank you.
Thanks, Raj.
Thanks to Raj Johnston and Marcel Bruin. Just while we've got you, Raj, if you can still hear us, just want to check in on the conditions, thanks Raj, down at ground level, because we think the wind might be just a little bit more swirly than it was about half an hour ago.
I'd agree so. I'm just up the front here at the smaller grandstand, up near the Bowls Club end, and you can feel it more than you can down the other end, that's right.
Thanks for that, Raj Johnston, our boundary rider today. Our second quarter ahead for United Petroleum, a platinum partner of Old Scotch, who operate over 500 service stations all across Australia. They support under the banner of fueling their community, and by using your Old Scotch United Petroleum Football Community Card, you can get a 2% discount on your fuel purchase, and so will Old Scotch Footy Club. So make sure you use that on your way home this Saturday evening. Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham, your thoughts before we get into the second term?
Well, I'd be looking at Brighton to lower their eyes going forward. They can't kick the ball high, but we'll just see if Grant maintains the ruck dominance and whether Brighton can get on top by sharking the tap, as we used to say in the coaching terms.
And second serve for United Petroleum about to get underway. Fairly mediocre start to the game. Let's hope it sort of ramps up a little bit in the next 3 quarters as Scotch go forward with a kick, and Jack Brown goes forward. He goes towards the Camberwell Road side of the ground. Polkinghorne there, Montanaro there, and Barter falls over the boundary line, and the umpire says ball that one in.
He's fast, Barter, isn't he?
He
came out of nowhere.
He got there quick. Polkinghorne wanted it, and then Barter got there, and we await the ball to be thrown back in. Here it comes, rather low. Olivier got a hand onto that one. Lipscomb a handball. Scotch go forward again. Hayes a kick, and it's found Troon. He's slotted into the spot beautifully in front of Yorgie. He can go to goal. He won't do that. He goes in short. Probably a bad option. Goes towards the pocket low and sees it over. And we'll have a ball in.
Now, he was only 40 metres from goal there. That's a bread and butter goal.
He should have a shot.
He just did not. He wasn't even going to attempt a shot on goal there. Obviously, doesn't rate his own kicking. He's hot.
A senior play from that far out should at least have a shot. Boundary umpire throws it in. Camberwell Road side of the ground, very low again. Got to Olivia okay. Ball hits the deck. Handballs are plenty. Montanaro in trouble. Clark bent down like a rover, went to pick it up, goes in after it again. Montanaro a handball out the side. Nearly a throw. Here's Dimatina. Handball hit a Butler, and away go Brighton towards the interchange side of the ground, and Pryor goes up, fist away by Easton, and we'll have a ball in.
See what they've got an enforcer at either end, Old Scotch. Fraser Morrisby in the front half, Doug Lawrence in the back half.
Imagine match scene at training between those two. You'd get out of the way, wouldn't you?
No, you just wouldn't turn up.
My AC joint's starting to feel a bit wobbly from just looking at the pair of them.
Just call them sir.
Yeah.
21-14, 2 minutes gone for United Petroleum, second quarter. And it's the Scotchies in front at home by 7 points. A handball back inside 50 for the Cards. Troon's after it, fended off by Yorgie, who fell over as he tried to handball it loose. Brown's got it to Lipscomb. Spins away from Seagar. Blind handball into the corridor. After it is the debutant and snapping in the air. That was Kemp. Won't go the 15. Polkinghorne slaps it on. Here goes Kemp again. Harry Hill holds him up as he tried to spin through. Be thrown up 11 metres out, top of the square.
Very frenetic there. There's players diving everywhere, but great defence by Brighton to hold that up.
Main grandstand, end of the ground. Handball by Fisher. Butler didn't pick it up cleanly. He's knocked off the footy. It goes over the white line in the forward pocket. A little bit of afters. That might be the debutant just taking the opportunity to push over Louis Butler when he wasn't expecting it. Harry Hill just saying that's not how we do about it. Yeah. There we go.
Good on him there, the debutant.
He's getting involved, certainly.
Why not?
So he'll be thrown in. Scoring opportunity here for Old Scotch, kicking into the teeth of this breeze. Clark and Olivier. Olivier with the left mitt reached over the head. Gregson falls to hands and knees. Got it through to Fisher. He feeds it onto the left boot of Campili, who kicks it blindly. Past halfway. It'll bounce and trickle inside 50. Richardson and Suttles off the knees of Richardson. Along the line goes Charlie. Tries to tap it to his own advantage. Brady gets over. Picks up the footy and kicks it long down the Camberwell Road wing.
So he goes towards the scoreboard side, but Seaguard chips in and takes the mark here for Brighton. Out of sight of the ground. A long way from home, but he'll look to go to the pocket. He does just that, and mark nearly taken by Richardson. Subtly fended him off, and it goes through for a minor score.
Just noticed Seagar's up the ground a lot today. Must be playing a different role. He's usually that higher half forward, but I think he's more of a wing or a midfielder today.
So Easton to kick the ball back in here for Scotch. A minor score to Brighton. He goes towards half back, no mark taken. And handball, not a real good one. Olivia had to work to get it. Grant goes in. He bent down, tried to pick it up. He goes to ground. Gregson over him. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. 3-3-21 Scotch, 2-3-15 Brighton for United Petroleum. We have gone just on...
It's about 4 minutes, Simon Petch.
In this second term.
That kick was long in the Old Scotch forward line direction where Clark and Lowen wrestle over it. Hill tries to get it up off his bootlaces, and again the debutant Kemp with the footy is held up, and Gelbart and Fisher just going for it, hammer and tog off the play. They're both on the ground. Gelbart is giving it to Tom Fisher, who is now cradled on the ground holding his face. Geez, that really picked up in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, the ball just bounces in between the battling midfielders. Now Yorgie cleans up Gelbart, and he might have given away a free kick here, Tom Yorgie.
I think he may have.
Two field umpires getting involved. Yorgie's just given another one, or Fisher rather. Gee, this has really picked up some bad temper between Tom Fisher and Lipscomb and Brown and Barter. Meanwhile, it's a 50-metre penalty going the way of Scotch. I think it's going to be Sam Grant who'll have to take the footy after all of that.
No one on the mark either.
Geez, that really picked up, Hugo.
Yeah, there's been a bit going on out there. I imagine a bit of advice to each other, and the young kid Kemp right in there again too. He's got a bit of fire in the belly.
So Tom Fisher's off the ground, hands on hips, looks pretty disconsolate. Meanwhile, Sam Grant will have a shot 35 metres out, 45-degree angle from left half forward. This will be a tough kick for the big fella. Swirly breeze down beneath us in the large grandstand here at Camberwell Sportsground. Sam Grant, just the one goal this year in senior amateur footy. He's a right footer that's just coming back nicely. And Sam Grant kicks Scotch's fourth. Olivier and Stubbings and now Henry Brown all getting acquainted in the aftermath. Grant high fives. He's happy with his first. 4-3-27 place, 2-3-15. All for United Petroleum. We're now 6 minutes into this first term. Hugo Higginbotham, maybe just a little bit of carryover from Grand Final Day, September last year?
Well, that's what I was just thinking, Paddy. That's why I wrote it on the back of my notes and showed it to you. But I was just thinking there might be a bit of bad blood there between these two sides from last year. And knowing the modern-day players, they do love to give a bit of advice.
Well, it was Gelbart and Fisher on that day, if I recall correctly. Let's quickly go down to Raj Johnston on the boundary.
Yeah, Paddy, Mark Knapp was the voice of reason there. He told his players just to go forward and kick the goal.
Thanks for that, Raj. Simon Petch at Morrisby takes a mark on his chest inside 50 for Scotch.
So that was from Jack Brown. A great kick out of the middle, high up and under. Morrisby in front took it.
Well, in the one arm too.
Great control.
He certainly did.
Murray was all over him, but he had great control in front. Morrisby, the big unit, who'll go back into the main grandstand into the ground, have a shot here. They've kicked 4-3, Brighton 2-3. They lead by 12 points. And we've just gone 7 minutes into this second term. And Morrisby may trouble the scorers for the first time today. From just on the 45-metre arc, drop punt, wobbly off the boot and hits the post.
Just.
So minus score there to Scotch, taking them on to 4-4-28. Brighton 2-3-15 for United Petroleum. 7 played in this second term.
So Butler goes straight up the high little from the restart. Lawrence comes from 3 deep. Double-handed spoil down to Tawney. Queenslander to Queenslander. Barter on the bounce at half forward, steps to the inside, feeds Lipscomb. One more over the top. Farrer's waiting for this footy. Hayes into the corridor. Montanaro with one hand wins it down. Campearly dispossessed by Polkinghorne. Barter still going for the Scotchies. Hill, big tackle. 52 metres out from goal. It will be thrown up. It's all the Cardinals at the moment. 4-4-28 leads 2-3-15 for United Petroleum. 7.5 gone in this second term. A bad-tempered second term as well. Grant, the last goal kicker, wins it down. Lipscomb, big tackle. Campearly, Seagar. And old Brighton, Camberwell Road side. Might be a free kick. Might be a 50, I reckon, because Campearly was brought down by Hill. Inside 50 goes Richardson. One bounce, right footer, outside of the boot, hits the stick.
So they're taking
and
this
it's
back
going
now.
back, sorry, yes. So I reckon it was maybe a push in the back as Richardson kicked because the advantage was called. So Richardson will get a take 2.
Oh, here we go.
He's deep in the left forward pocket and will have to go around the corner. Simon Petch's favourite form of goal kicking.
There's plenty of daylight between the goals here. There won't be any need for that. You can drive this through with a drop punt.
So Richardson's already got one today. Charlie Richardson. It's his first senior VAFA goal a few minutes ago. Now he's got a chance to double down. The number 50 steps around. Right foot snap is good.
Got it.
So Charlie Richardson gives old Brighton something to cheer about. 3-3-21. Trailing Old Scotch 4-4-28, 8.5 gone for United Petroleum in this second term. Comes into this game in good form, does Charlie Richardson, Hugo, because he was superb for the Big V under-19s. 15 disposals, 9 marks, 3 of those contested and 2 goals. So comes in with his kicking boots on.
Yes, a lot of talent, the boy. At the moment, we're just seeing some very fired-up players out there, and there's a lot of unnecessary actions, which will be frustrating both coaching staff because you just want to see the game played on its merits. But they are young men, and there's definitely a little bit going on between these two teams. And we'll just see who settles now and who composes themselves and starts playing back to playing normal footy and stop all the byplay.
So even Stevens, 9 minutes played, 1 goal, 1 apiece in this second term. So nothing's really changed apart from the score. Thrown back in the air. Olivier again got that one down. Now Dimartina out of the middle. Left foot kick around the body, a blind kick. Bounced towards centre half forward. Bounced away from everybody. But Sutter was there. Handball to Lawrence, who goes out wide here to Hugh Burne-Jones. Small grandstand side of the ground. He sees it over. And we'll have a ball in. 10 gone.
That was great work by Dennis down there before, because he was the one who read the ball properly. That was coming in pretty hot from Brighton. So, and Lawrence probably should stick to not kicking the ball out of the back line, just belting blokes. That's his game.
Thrown back in. Grant and Olivier to go at it again. They wait for it. On the pointy end of the centre square, back in it comes. Grant gave Olivier a push, no free kick. Now Lipscomb has it, got away from Dimartina. Kick back towards centre wing, clean bowls just about everyone. Murray got a boot to it, he goes towards the boundary line and Barter sees it over. And for Scotch will have a ball in.
Just briefly around the grounds from McQueen Financial Group, hearing from the game between Collegians and the University Blacks that Sam Bennett of the Blacks has had a really shocking knee injury that held play up for 10 minutes or so towards the back end of the first quarter. So our thoughts go out to him, University Blacks player. First senior game, I believe, since 2019, Hugo. Coming from our man, Cal Cummins on the scene. So shocking to hear. Hope Sam's okay. Here's Sammy Grant, inside 50 for the Cards. It takes a bounce, flicking it towards the boundary as Cork. And it will go over. Oh, he'll be pinged for insufficient intent.
The other umpire was right underneath him there, and he just saw that little flick, hoping for the boundary line because the two Cardinal players around him. So and the umpires, they are right onto this one.
So Clark's got the free, 42 metres out, tucked into the right forward pocket. He's going to go around the body from a long, long way. He gets a lot of bend on that kick, and it's well skinny. Through for a minor score, 4-5-29 now Old Scotch, 3-3-21 Old Brighton, and 11 minutes gone for United Petroleum in the second. just think that maybe Clark could have gone with the drop punt there, Petchy.
He could have, but they don't today. Butler goes with a kick, a good, decent kick too. Goes towards half back. And
This is Dennis with the big spoil.
Yeah,
most celebrated spoil I have ever seen at this ground.
Terrific
25
spoil.
blokes just stood up and cheered like it was grand final day.
Yes, great spoil right in front of the interchange bench for Scotch.
Wouldn't have thought it was worth the whole crowd going up for just a spoil like that.
Obviously they know something we don't.
Yeah,
Thrown
must be his
back
first
in.
one.
Up they go. Fanning won that one down. Goes back towards the boundary line. Brighton keep it in. Hill a handball. Not a real good one. Open the door again for Scotch, but a bouncing ball away from Tawney. Sees it over the boundary line and will have a ball in. 4-5-29 Scotch. 3-3-21 Brighton. 8 points the margin for United Petroleum. 12 minutes gone in this second term. About to be thrown in, as we've called it today, or we're going to, the Shetland flank. Thrown back in. Grant palmed that one down, and again, Stacks on the middle develop. We'll have another ball up.
What's the story with the Shetlands?
There's three of them over the back
out the
fence.
back here.
Do you have to get a permit or?
We won't dob anyone in, but
Yeah,
there's
okay.
3 Shetlands out the back here.
Petting zoo. puts it past halfway. Petchy's just going to have to compose himself after that one. Is Jack Brown handball. Found Ben Pryor on hands and knees. He'll tie it up beneath his body just about. The umpire lets them play, and eventually Lawrence just ushers it out of play between wing and half forward for old Brighton. 29 playing 21.
Well, the funny thing is, Hugo thought they were Great Danes.
I do.
But they're not. They're 3 Shetland ponies.
I wouldn't expect to see 3 of those in the backyard of Camberwell. Honestly, it's bizarre.
Takes all types. It'll be thrown in 60 metres out from the Brighton goal. Hope with a big tackle. Lipscomb's going nowhere.
Most affluent Shetlands I've ever seen.
They're being well looked after, though.
It's the first Shetland pony I've seen with a finance portfolio as we go in the air. Grant, handball. Dimatina cuts it off. Just hacks it inside 50 haphazardly, and it'll be cut down. Brown, that's Jack Brown. He's had a super game of footy, Simon Petch. This would be disposal number 10 or 11. He goes looking for Farrer and finds
Excellent
him
kick.
Camberwell Road side.
So centre wing, Camberwell Road side through the middle here. Scotch, a handball here. Hugh Burne-Jones collected. Handball back from Barter. Morrisby at his bootlaces. Bent down, picked it up, got the handball, but straight to Hill. And now Brighton can work it out through Cam Pearley. Out of sight of the ground, Yorgie in trouble. Handball wasn't a good one. Open the door again here for Scotch. Spears goes in. High tackle, not paid. Hill goes in. Handball came out. Now Richardson goes forward for Brighton. Kick towards the scoreboard, side of the ground. Pryor tried to reel it in one-handed. He's still got possession. He gets away, gets a kick. Will it go towards goal? It does. Patroon there. Stands still. He goes with a handball.
It's been a free kick here.
So I reckon it's a tackle by Lawrence on Pryor that may have been adjudicated to be a dangerous one.
Okay, so Pryor goes back and we'll have a shot here to peg the margin back.
Yeah, and 52.
Well, he may as well just kick this along the ground. So there's a goal here to Pryor, and this will be Brighton's 4th. They'll go into 4-3-27. Scotch on 4-5-29. 2 points the margin. And for United Petroleum, 14 and a half minutes gone in this second term, and 2 for Pryor for the afternoon so far.
Just, unfortunate tackle there, but the free kick was there, and then the advice that came with it, and that gives them the 50. But that all came off the back of 2 amazing intercept handball possessions by Harry Hill. He just reads the ball so well, and they were heading forward, Scotch there for their goal, and Harry Hill just read that perfectly, got ball forward, moving their way, and that's what the captain does, and that's why he's such a good player.
He did it twice.
Yep.
He's inside to outside as well, Hugo, which is what makes him so dangerous, because he can win the ball in tight with those in-tight handball intercepts, but then he's often on the outside receiving a handball to drive it forward. So in super form, Harry Hill, 33 disposals and a goal for the Big V a couple of weeks ago. 2-time captain, of course. Yet to get a win, though, in his time as Big V skipper, so he'll certainly be coming back for more next season. Back in the middle, Seagar wanted Edgar or Butler, and the handball found neither of them, so Geordie will go back and win his own footy, where he's brought down by Tawney in the centre of Camberwell Sportsground. It'll be thrown back in the air. 29 plays 27 for United Petroleum, approaching 16 minutes gone in this second term. The first one went 29 minutes, so just over halfway, you'd think. Grant from the ruck, free kick going to... I think Sam Grant, who was held onto. It's blasted inside 50. The umpire wants the ball to come back. So Sam Grant will take his kick from just behind the centre circles. Game number 33 for Old Scotch in the seniors.
Oh, it's been a reversal.
And a reversal and a 50, I reckon, or...
That was off the ball.
there's a fair bit going on after all of that.
That's Harry Hill.
So Harry Hill's got a free kick at centre-half forward for Old Brighton. He's 60 metres out from goal. And
there's something else
still
going.
Yeah, the umpires have picked another one out, I think, in the defensive goal square.
No, they're talking to the Scotch player at half forward here. I reckon that might have been a bit of umpire dissent or something like that, because the Scotch players are pulling him away from there.
Yeah, you're spot on, Hugo.
And there's another one to Hill, another 50-metre penalty for him. So Hill will kick his first, and Brighton will kick their fifth. They'll hit the lead. After the early stages of that first term, they'll hit the front. They'll go on to 5-3-33. Scotch on 4-5-29. 17 played for United Petroleum. Hill kicks his first of the afternoon.
So I've just got my eye on that player. He's not going to turn his back to me. I can't quite tell who it is at the moment from Scotch. But they're all telling him to calm down. They're still telling him to calm down. He's very fired up. And I think that he's got the run with roll with Harry Hill. And there's something going on there off the ball.
Okay, well, after all of that, armed with all that information, Brighton have kicked their last 2 goals from 50-metre penalties that have brought them right up to the teeth of goal. So now they hit the front. They're 2 points in front. Ball back into the middle, and Grant won it down. Got it to himself. High up and under kick, no distance. It got to Spears. Oh, surely not a mark. Well, it is. Okay, don't know about 15 metres there, but anyway, Spears has got it. That was high up and under. He goes out wider. Camberwell Road side of the ground. Campeely had it spoiled by Hugh Burne-Jones. They go to boundary. They go to ground. Hugh Burne-Jones over the top, trying to get it out. Campeely over the top of him, and we'll have a ball up and half forward. For Scotch.
Last 2 goals of the game through 50-metre penalties. Last 3 goals of the game going the way of the Tunners, who are ahead for the first time since the opening 10 minutes of this game of footy. Morrisby spikes it down at his bootlaces. Hayes, or Farrett might be, lays the tackle of Old Scotch, and we'll do it all again. Seagar last to get to his feet. 5-3-33 Old Brighton, 4-5-29 Old Scotch on the United Petroleum scoreboard. Fanning into the ruck for the Tunners. Seagar again is going nowhere. This all taking place at right half forward for Old Scotch. Just waiting for something to break loose that isn't a 50-metre penalty here. It's spike clear. Easton will be first to it. Travers is on his case, brings him down without the footy, so a free kick to Brodie Easton. And it's rare you get Bronxies at VAFA games, but that pretty much sums up the last 10 minutes or so. Simon Petch as Brodie Easton takes his kick.
It sure does. 1-2 to 3-1 in this second term. Brighton lead the way, and they lead by 4, and Easton goes with the left boot. Up towards the forward pocket for Scotch, fist away. And it goes over the line.
He's got the free.
Have a ball in.
You've got an ID as well, Hugo, for that Scotch player who gave away the 50.
Yes, it was Harry Stubbings, and he's very animated, and he's not a happy man. So he really needs to calm down a bit and just focus on the footy, because these 50s are hurting.
About to be thrown back in. Now it is. Lipscomb's got it. Handball, not real good. Campeely head over the football, ended up with it. Well done by him. He got a kick towards Lawrence, though. Hill goes up. Foul to ground. On the ground, Jack Brown. He goes to it. Now it's at centre-half forward. Lawrence helped him out. He tries to break a tackle. Dick tackled him beautifully. And Hamish will get the free kick here for Brighton in front of goal at centre-half forward.
So it's, look, they're big, strong guys in the Scotch forward line, but this is where the smaller Brighton forwards can basically be that forward defensive pressure that keeps the ball in, and then it's hard to get those handballs out. So it's really good forward defensive pressure, and it's when Brighton moves the ball forward fast, that's when they're looking dangerous.
So Dick for his first goal of the afternoon. Centre half 40 is Bowling Green, end of the ground they are Brighton. With the breeze in this second term, not a real good kick off the boot. It won't come back enough, and only a minor score, taking Brighton on to 5-4-34, Scotch on 4-5-29 for United Petroleum. 20 minutes played in this second term.
Yeah, so we'll look for the Brighton forwards to really start to lift that forward defensive pressure now. They've got their tail up, they're up and about, they're animated, and they really want to keep the ball down there for the minute.
Yeah, Hamish Dick is one himself. 2 shots on goal from big tackles in this game of footy, so he looks the one most likely down the line as Grant and Court go for the fly here on the small grandstand wing. Polkinghorne takes it away for Scotch, gets it back from Tawney, and Polkinghorne drives it to Burne-Jones, who is in a paddock of space. Ended up bobbling the mark, took it on the third chance. Clark is waving his arms, desperately wanting the footy. Burne-Jones ignores him, goes to the 2-on-1, and Farrell instead, and Montanaro eats it up. And Will Clark is fuming in the right forward pocket.
He's very animated there. He's in the right spot too, so that's probably a kick that the young fella would want again.
Montanaro off a step, drives it down the Camberwell Road wing in response. Across the front, Gregson couldn't take the mark. Tawney tracks it, Carianis calls in. So free kick going
Here
the
we
way
go.
of Jake Tawney, and Jack Brown and Gus Edgar just introducing themselves as well. Hayes now with it in front of the cricket nets, Camberwell Road side of Camberwell Sportsground.
Radio Tawney won't mind that from Carrianis.
Oh, no, he won't.
He's as tough as teak, Tawney, so Carrianis didn't even put a mark on him, really. Here's Hayes, he goes towards the pocket. They set themselves, a fist away there by Yorgie. Ball hits the ground, close to the boundary line. Montanaro got it to Lowen, who goes over the line, and we'll have a ball in deep in the right forward pocket here for Scotch. At the main grandstand into the ground. 4-5-29 Scotch, 5-4-34 Brighton, 22 minutes gone in this second term, about to be thrown back in. Here it comes, Olivier, got it down. Clark went to Rove, and he did. Big man,
a goal!
He's going to go, goal! And he's just missed it. Wow, the roving from him was immaculate. He bent down, picked it up, had a shot as quick as you could blink, but missed. Scotch on to 4-6-30, Brighton 5-4-34, 22 gone in this second term for United Petroleum.
The old bugger it, I'll get it myself from Will Clark. Yorgie on that left had a fair bit of the footy. That's a nice kick to Hope, who just spilt the mark down his front. We'll go again. Tawney's now got it. Hope's got him as Tawney drove with the head into the hips of Hope, who did well not to give away the free kick. Be thrown up between wing and half forward here for Old Scotch. Will Clark just getting a little bit animated inside 50, which is typically bad news for the opposition when he's up and about. Will Clark. Gregson to Hill, over the top, chasing Barter. Carrianis the other way, came storming through, picked up the footy, kicked it long to a one-on-one. Richardson in that one-on-one with Brady. It escaped the pair of the middle, trickle on and through and over for a behind. Charlie Richardson, who's a little bit flat about not being rewarded with a free kick. Nothing forthcoming from the men in green. 5-5-35 Old Brighton, 4-6-30 Old Scotch. 23 minutes gone. Second term action for United Petroleum here at Camberwell Sportsground.
So that's what Brighton will want to see. Carrianis continue to use his body on players. Kick back in and goes over the top of everybody and over the line out of play in front of the interchange bench, and we'll have it thrown back in. So Carrianis a couple of hits on a couple of players. He's not shooting goals as much as he used to anymore, but if he can apply himself in that respect and help his team, that'll be just as good. About to be thrown back in front of the small grandstand. Back in it comes Olivier, won it down. Carrianis there again, can't win it out. He brings it back in underneath. Stubbings over him. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. 5-5-35 Brighton, 4-6-30 Scotch. 24 gone for United Petroleum in this second term. Tawney tried to win it out. Troon was there with him. Gregson, like a bull, got the handball. Lawrence went straight through.
He's got him there. He's got him big time.
He collected
Hope.
Hope, and
it is really on him.
I think that was just an accident. The ball was, I think, there, and Lawrence just decided to go, and Doug's on the bottom of all that over there. And we'll wait for them to get up and sort it out. 5-5-35 Brighton, 4-6-30 Scotch, 25 gone in this second term.
Well, Lawrence ran straight past the ball there, and Hope was in the way, and he really made him earn that there. But I've got a feeling he's taking his number, I reckon. He sent him off.
I think so. We might get down to Raj Johnston shortly with the information from that one. But yeah, Dougie Lawrence did appear to go past the footy. Hope was in the way, and then he was flat in his backside, Hope, for a few moments' time before getting up to his backside himself. Let's get actually down to Raj Johnston while we have a moment. Raj, this unfolded right in front of you. What did you see?
Yeah, still just trying to ascertain all the details, Paddy. Safe to say both supporter groups are very fired up and animated, and lots of words that can't be broadcast on the microphone.
Yes. I'm sure there are. So Hope on the bench. He is on his feet and walking to the back of the bench. Lawrence off the ground, we assume, has been sent off, and that might be the 15 minutes, I think, for Doug Lawrence, which would be his half done, and likely in the book as well. We'll get the update from Raj Johnston in a few moments' time, as we've just got a little bit of a pause on the boundary line, and now we're finally starting. So Campeoli to Dimatina. Long left boot of Kai Dimatina goes high in the sky, and it was always right. He misses from 55 metres out. Kai Dimatina didn't even think about lowering the eyes. He's got a long leg on him, but didn't get through the major opening on that occasion. 30 plays 36, so Brighton have the lead. 5-6-36 to 4-6-30. 26 minutes gone rather in the second term for United Petroleum.
Well, Brighton will be happy that Lawrence is off for a start. As Easton brings the ball back in towards the centre of the ground, and a free kick has been paid, and Murray will take it, will it? Really? He's the last one to get up. Yorgie's also up on his feet, and it'll go Yorgie's way. So Moresby must have interfered with him. Centre of the ground, he goes out wider. Bowling green, end of the ground to go Brighton. Now they fall over again here. A high tackle.
Very high.
Has been picked out. And Richardson will take it here for Brighton.
There's a lot of very aggressive plays of the ball here at the moment, and the ball's not always the intended object.
Undisciplined, you would say.
Very much so.
Yes.
It's gone the way of Brighton, though, Petchy, which is the problem for Scotch, because they've given away all those 50s. As we see, I think Tommy Yorgie is just limping off the ground as well for old Brighton.
Yes, he was in that contest just moments ago in the centre of the ground. Wasn't sure if he was to take that kick or not. Here's Richardson now in front of the scoreboard. 5-6-36 Brighton, 4-6-30 Scotch. 27 gone in this second term. Bowling green end of the ground. Richardson inside the 45-metre arc, puts it on its way and goes across the face to the left. And only a minor score. 37 playing 30. Brighton have the lead. They've arrested the lead in this second term.
Hugo, for hit IQ, Charlie Richardson, I reckon, has kicked that over the back into the Bowls Club. He's got a massive shoe on him.
It was a very large kick. It's gone a long way, but only for 1 point, Paddy, unfortunately. So they're letting off Old Scotch here. They'd be a bit frustrated with their goal kicking, Brighton.
There's plenty of action, both in play and out of play at the moment, I suppose, as Easton takes the kick in. For the Cards, they trail it by 7 points, led it by 7 at quarter time. Olivier spoils it loose of the hands of Grant, though Hayes and Stubbings are there for the Cards, and they'll move it forward. Burne-Jones in the chase, Spears on his backside. The debutant, he did well on Hugh Burne-Jones. Made it a ground level footy, and it'll be locked up beneath the protagonists there. Thrown in the air 60 metres or 70 metres out from the Old Scotch goal. Camberwell roadside. 30 playing 37, not long left in this quarter of footy. I suspect 28 minutes gone as Grant is lifted in the air by Olivier as if to prove no prior opportunity, and the umpire comes in to throw it up once again. Simon Petch.
So he'll do that. Both got a hand onto that one, and now Scotch go forward. Kemp there, couldn't read it properly, pick it up. Montanaro kick along the ground. Found Dimartino with a handball to Lowen. Brighton work it out with a kick towards Richardson at half back, but it goes over the line out of play. And resultant free kick to go to Suttle here for Scotch. He's got it. He goes in short. Oh, geez. That missed everything. Seagar ended up swooping. He goes and kicks towards centre half forward. Over Troon's head. They can raffle it here. Pryor there. Now Carianis is onto it. Carianis in the goal has got it.
Oh, hang on. There's a whistle.
There's a free going the other way.
I think it was against Pryor off the footy as Carianis was taking his kick.
That was a goal.
It's been that hard to score.
Jack Brown will end up taking it here, Paddy.
Well, I think we're only going to get goals through 50-metre penalties today at the moment, Simon Petch.
Oh, there's been someone down off the play again.
Yeah, there's Carianis, and I think the young man Troon just getting acquainted. The old man, the young man, kicked down the wing, small grandstand side. Dick went for the fly, went through the hands there of Kemp, and once again, they'll wrestle over it at ground level. Hill's involved, as he always is, the skipper of Brighton. Could be thrown up, neutral territory. Approaching 30 minutes gone, 37 plays 30. Carianis, that would have been, by my count, goal number 279 as a senior footballer.
Well, it's not.
Brighton.
It's not.
So Ben Pryor might owe him a drink if that played out as we suspected it did, as this ball makes its way back out of play, and the umpire's just deciding whether to pay that one insufficient intent or not. They decide against it. So between wing and half forward here for Old Scotch, who trail it by 7 points. They led it by 7 at quarter time, as we mentioned a few moments ago. Goals through Grant, Farah, Brown and Barter today for Scotch. Brighton 2 for Pryor, 2 for Richardson, 1 to Harry Hill. And they've kicked the last 3 goals of this contest and 4 of the last 5 to boot as well. Grant and Olivier resume their battle. Dick dragged off the footy. Umpire said play on. Butler we'll call that improvisational, that tackling technique. Umpire has nothing as far as issues with it, and Olivier will win the hit out as from the restart. Half forward, Brown hacks it inside 50. Burne-Jones, Montanaro, Polkinghorn all there. They all fly. Hill came from about 3 deep, came charging up to it back with the fly. Still the ball rolls. Burne-Jones is after it, falling over and springing athletically back to his feet as Carianis. Dimartina involved as well. Cooler heads prevail. Will be thrown up directly in front of us, Simon Petch. Right left forward pocket for Old Scotch.
Yeah, Carianis loved that. He wanted a little bit more of that action. You can see that in his eyes. Thrown in the air. Moresby goes across the face. Now the ball, which way will it bounce? Towards the boundary line. And it's seen over and we'll have a ball in.
Just watching Mark Natt on the boundary line here, he's very animated. He's up and down. He's screaming at the troops there. He's very invested in this game. I just saw him look over at Lawrence and just shake his head to look at the ground. I think he's a bit frustrated with the big fella.
I reckon he might be without Dougie Lawrence for a couple of weeks.
Thrown back in. That's the game we play. Thrown back in. Morrisby missed it, but then goes in after it. Hill nearly got in front of the big fellow, but couldn't. Ball still on the deck, and right on the pointy end of the centre square will have a ball up. 5-7-37 Brighton, 4-6-30 Scotch. They led by 7 points at quarter time, Scotch. Brighton now lead by 7, a 14-point turnaround. Here's DiMartino, a kick towards centre wing.
No.
Grant goes with a fist towards the boundary line. He could have marked it. He elected to go to the fisted punch. It goes over and we'll have a ball in.
There was no communication there. If we're looking at the clock, that's 32 minutes gone. That was a mark at sort of centre wing. Scotch want this ball forward. Now it's a 50-50 on the wing, which Brighton have been very good around the clearances. They didn't need that, Scotch.
So centre wing outer side of the ground, Camberwell Road side of the ground. Thrown back into play. Grant palms it down. Olivia stole it virtually. And once again, stalemate. We'll have another ball in the air.
So the Queen Financial Group, DLR by 20 points over St Bernard's. The Old Zavarians by 53 points over the Old Haley-Burians out there in South Caulfield. Back inside 50 for Old Brighton. It's kicked clear by the Scotch defence off the face of Olivier and into the hands of Stubbings, who's got Burn-Jones to the middle of Camberwell Sportsground. Kicks it inside 50 for Morrisby. It came askew off his boot. Campilli is there, as is Fergus Murray. Handballs to his own advantage. Hayes gets there first, tips the ball for Polkinghorn, who is pushed out of play by Montanaro at the intersection of the 50-metre arc and the boundary line. Yeah. Right half forward for Old Scotch. Hugo for hit IQ.
Morrisby just leaded that ball a little bit shorter. He would have got the chest mark there, but he's not the fastest bloke, but he makes everyone earn it. So he kept the ball in their forward half, which is good.
33 minutes gone for United Petroleum in this second quarter. Campilli past the footy. Edgar and Lipscomb. The umpire lets them roll as they clash into each other. Hill is there. The kick was smothered off the boot there of Tawney, or Dennis it looked like. Still they'll roll. Lipscomb just punts it any old way inside 50. Butler's got it for Old Brighton. 2 Scotch players have him. One of those was Kemp, whose handball went out of play and into the right forward pocket where it'll be thrown in once more.
Kemp just ripped it out of his arms there too. That was an amazing bit of play there.
So 37 plays 30, 33 and a half now gone on this second term. We're approaching half time.
Just a dour struggle, this.
Yeah.
You would think this is played on a ground that's full of mud. It is just dour. Here's Gregson being held up by Stubbings, and we'll have another ball in the air. 9 goals for the game so far. 10 shots for Scotch, 12 shots here for Brighton. Brighton lead it by 7, nearing the end of this second term. He'll into the back of Lipscomb, and he'll get it here. Lipscomb in front of goal at centre half forward here for Scotch. So what's he going to do? He's a good kick. Have a shot here.
Clark's
just called to play on, yeah.
Oh, he goes in short. Morrisby all on his lonesome. Olivia has a look around. Brighton players hands on heads, hands on hips, not knowing what to do.
Once again, they all focused on Clark, who was tearing down to the goal square to try and get on him, and Morrisby just walked out into the pocket and an easy kick in the
Just
end.
a Sunday stroll.
It
Decoy.
was.
Just another decoy, and Morrisby's got it.
Pretty big decoy.
Oh, yeah, you can't miss him, but they did.
Yeah, they certainly did. Brighton have got this infatuation with Clark. Every time he's near the goals, they panic and they all just rush to him.
Like Joey Picataro.
He needs to kick this, Morrisby, to bring the margin back to a point. Main grandstand in, drop punt, slide angle, puts it on its way. Look at that! He's kicked at the big fella! And look at him get around him. So Morrisby for Scotch kicks his first goal of the afternoon. That coming up at the 35-minute mark of this second term, and Scotch get within a point. 5-6-36, Brighton 5-7-37, a point the margin for United Petroleum. Morrisby's first goal of the day.
So with Clark, with Lawrence off the ground now, Clark's gone behind the ball into a defensive position for that intercept mark. So it's that's not a bad play, but every time I look at Clark now, I just think of Joey Pignataro. You'd need 4 Joeys end on end to be at the height of Clark anyway.
I'm surprised you're not here, Joey. Harry Hill and Will Clark going head to head. My goodness. Loves nothing more than the number 4 from Old Brighton and the number 44 from the Cards. Ball back in the air in the middle of the ground. 35 and a half gone on this one. Olivier to centre half forward. Snaps it onto the chest. And it will be a shot at goal here for the defender, Gus Cork, who's gone forward, I think, with Will Clark. Yeah. To equalise, and he'll have a shot from 50 metres out directly in front.
Turn around, saw the clearance, and then just a nice easy chest mark. So that's not really good by Scotch. and I would imagine that Natty is not happy with that one, especially this is a very long quarter.
Yeah.
Best on ground cork in his debut game against St Kevin's a couple of weeks ago, where he was cast in the role as a full-back. Now he's gone to centre-half forward, Gus Cork. What can he make of the set shot? It's a methodical, careful approach, and the kick, it looked good to start with. It went hard right once it reached the peak of its parabola, and it's through for a behind. So Old Brighton 5-8-38, lead it by 2 points. Old Scotch 5-6-36. We've gone 36 and a half minutes in this second term, thanks to United Petroleum, probably thanks to all the scraps we've had, Hugo.
This is overtime. We're going to have to put in a longer invoice for this one.
Oh, don't make me laugh.
And the breeze has picked up here too, so it is really favouring the bowling green end now. It's picked up maybe a 4-goal breeze out there in this second term. Kick back in by Easton. He goes to Morrisby.
That's a mark.
Oh, there was plenty of hands around him, and it just fell into his stomach, and he claimed it. He goes in short of Clark, close to the boundary line, and he just marks. So in front of the Brighton bench, Clark's got it here, and the siren goes. So that's half-time down here at the Camberwell Sportsground, and Brighton go in with a 2-point lead. 5-8-38 to Scotch 5-6-36, a 9-point turnaround from quarter time.
So the goal kickers for Brighton, 2 for Pryor, 2 for Richardson, and 1 to Harry Hill. For Old Scotch, all singles: Barter, Brown, Farah, Grant, that's Henry Brown by the way, and Fraser Morrisby just a few moments ago. That quarter for United Petroleum going 37 and a half minutes. It's Old Brighton 5-8-38 leading Old Scotch 5-6-36 at half-time.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
The Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Star Award recognises the competition's most talented young players. Each week, the VAFA Rising Star Committee receives nominations for 1 male and 1 female player aged 20 years or under who played no more than 7 senior games before this season. Our overall season winners will be declared the Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Stars for 2025. So, if your club has a young gun making their mark, nominate them now at media@vafa.com.au.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45 p.m. Listen via the app.
Half-time at Camberwell Sportsground. It's the Tunners. Old Brighton 5-8-38 leading Old Scotch 5-6-36 by 2 points after Old Scotch led it by 7 points at quarter time. 3 goals to 2 in that quarter to take the advantage, albeit a slender one as we look towards the second half here at Camberwell Sportsground, where the rain is holding off for now. Let's hope it remains that way. For McQueen Financial Group, a check around the other games in William Buck Premier Men's. St Kevin's 7-8-50 leading the University Blues 2-2-14 at the Melbourne Uni Oval. Over at the Harry Trott, it's 4-2-26 Collegians leading the University Blacks 2-4-16 by 10 points. St Bernard's College Oval, it's St Bernard's coming back a little bit after being stunned by D. Lara at the start. So St Bernard's 4-6-30. Trailing De La Salle 7-6-48. And over in South Caulfield, Old Haileybury not having the resumption of the season that it wanted. 3-1-19, trailing the Old Zaverians 11-6-72 at half-time. So that is a 53-point advantage to the Red and Black, who held the Bloods scoreless to quarter time. Led it by 53 points at quarter time and have held that advantage through the second term as well. Here, though, at Camberwell Sportsground, it's Brighton by 2 points. And their president, Tom Clark, joins us in the commentary box, as does the president of Old Scotch, Will Strange. Gentlemen, before I say hello to the pair of you, I'm almost nervous about what might kick off between the pair of you.
Ding, let's go.
A pretty busy second term where there was certainly some tempers flaring on field, hopefully not off field as well. Tom Clark, welcome to you.
Thank you. No, I'd back Strange in that fight, so I'll stay out of it. I'll be very amicable.
Yeah, he's a smart man, Clarky, very smart man.
I'm not sure what we're running as far as a punting ring goes. Strangey.
He actually works. Well, you work at one of the punting joints. You could sponsor it. We could do an event if you want.
Run a book.
Actually, we should get Cozzy and Paddy Mount in there. I reckon I'd be pretty happy with that lineup.
Royal Rumble VAFA style. I think I'd pay a fair fee to watch that one. Will Strange, welcome to you.
Thank you, Paddy.
Big second half of the season for you guys. You come into this game with 6 games remaining, 6-6. You need the opportunity to defend your title. So often Mark Nat just says to me, it's all about qualifying, but this is one of only 2 games at home in this run home. How closely is your club focused on this last 6 weeks period over the last 2 weeks?
Look, I'd love it to be a half of the season left, because that would mean a few extra games to get on the board. But 6 games left, we can't lose too many. I suspect that's why there's a bit of feeling out there, because we're going against a bit of a foe as well. But yeah, look, it's, Natty's right. It is about qualifying. It is about that, and that's certainly our focus right now. Is we probably can't drop any games. It's great to see Xavier there, so you won't see me a supporter any other weekend except this against Old Haileybury, because we're trying to free up a spot there, and hopefully we can get a couple on the way home, and a bit of fortune with some buys and some form of players and all that sort of stuff can help us. But no, certainly it hasn't been the season we want, and I've got to give a lot of credit to teams that have been to the top, have won, and been able to back it up. It's a challenge. One that we thought we saw coming, but certainly the availability of our players just disappeared once they got a bit of a reputation as well. So, yeah, it's been hopefully a better
second phase.
Let's call it that.
So, Strangey, a big game for you guys today is a club perspective, and Clarky for you as well. So, a win today would sort of really increase those chances of retaining the top 2, and that must be a real focus for you guys at the club at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we've had a really strong start to the season, been sitting 10-2, but a lot of challenges these next 6 weeks, so a win here would go a long way to being where we want to be at the end of the year for sure.
And now, how much has this game been built up? Because, well, this is to both of you. And just quickly, too, would we go in the square ring or in the octagon? Which way would you go? Between in the scrap?
I reckon I'd just to be able to sit on him would be nice. If I tire out pretty early, I'd just like to sit on him. So the octagon would probably be better there.
Could be a rumble in the jungle, on the fence, rope-a-dope.
But to get back to it, I mean, it is a grand final rematch, and there's always a lot of feeling in these games. We're seeing that out there as well. So has there been much of a build-up?
Look, I think both sides do come off a loss before the double bye as well.
So, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, so did we, I guess. So you
didn't lose to Collegians.
You have those two weeks to reset, and then building into this, and it's all of a sudden there's only 6 weeks to go. So, yeah, the boys are certainly fired up. It's been a fiery game, and we just know that. Scotch are the reigning premiers. We haven't won out in here for a long time, so to be in the hunt at half time and a good chance of scrapping it out in this second half, it's good. Should be a good afternoon of footy.
I think if you'd have told me pre-game that during the second term Tom Fisher and Andy Gelbart would be having a scrap on the small grandstand wing, I reckon I could have told you that was going to happen. I'm surprised we waited until the second term. I want to ask the pair of you about some debutants, so one each for the pair of you today.
Yeah.
Clarky, Matthew Spears, who I think I had it as 107 games of 19s, resis and thirds before he gets his senior opportunity at the age of 26. Tell me a little bit about him.
He's the ultimate clubman, so you wouldn't have had a bigger roar all season when his name was read out on Thursday night. He just lives and breathes the footy club. He's been a journeyman, as he said, through the 19s, thirds and seconds, but he's kept improving it. 26 years of age, he's been a really solid twos player for a few years, and I think he's held his own really well. A couple of marks back with the flight. He had that one terrible decision where he
just one
went on his left foot.
Just one terrible decision.
No, he's a great person, and it's really good that guys like Supsy and a lot of under-19s blokes, young blokes, the last few weeks have been given an opportunity to play at this highest level.
Will, I wanted to ask you about Henry Kemp. So I saw it was John Kerr who presented the jumper, who's a life member, and he told me 262 games.
Of course he did.
For this footy club. Made that very clear. Tell me a bit about this young man, because he was a very late into this team today.
Yeah, look, Kempy is a great character. He's been around the club only a short time, so he's pretty young, as you can see. He's pretty fit, looks after himself, has had a lot of injury issues over his first couple of years since he's left school. But I tell you what, you could sell out the Marvel Stadium with tickets on watching him do anything, but he'd be the only person purchasing the tickets. So he's very confident in his ability, but he's a ripping young kid making his way. We certainly love the fact that he has that confidence and wants to take it on. So as you've seen, he's the first bloke to push someone off the ball.
That was my next question.
I'll tell you what, he was the second little dog in when Jelly and Fish were going at it. And there's not many other dogs that would jump in that fight, and he did. So that says something about him.
Yeah, Petchy loved that one too. It's good to watch. A question for both of you. We'll start with you, Clarkie. So obviously player availability.
Yep.
You know, if these blokes these days, they don't play 18 games, they go overseas. So what's that looking like moving forward?
I think this is another exciting part of this period. We're getting a few blokes back this weekend and over the next few weeks, and we'll have some really strong availability over the last month of the season. But no, you're exactly right. There's a lot of guys that go away. We're probably biggest hit with our under 19 cohort. We had the week before the double bye, we had 26 of our 60 under 19s unavailable.
I actually saw they dropped the game today.
Yeah,
too.
they lost today for the first time, so hopefully that gives them a good kick and a bit of a reset to build into their finals campaign. But yeah, no, it's right. I think it's the reality. And speaking to Strangey and other clubs, it's a lot of clubs are in a similar position when they're on uni holidays. They're all blokes that are between the ages of 19 23 at uni, and they take some time off. And yeah, so footy clubs miss out on them for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And what about you, Strangey? How's it looking for the Cards moving forward?
Yeah, very similar. We had the conversation earlier on, and we've got a bunch of boys all travelling together, which is nice. So, their availability comes. I think they're basically half our reserves will be back next week from one trip to Cambodia. So, player availability hasn't been ideal, but we're not the only club dealing with it, and we've got to deal with it.
Gentlemen, before we let you go, I just want to ask you a question. You're not allowed to choose yourself in response to the question I'm about to ask. Who's the best club? We're now, you've played everyone a couple twice. What's the best club that you've seen so far put together this year? I'll start with you, Clarkie.
In terms of on-field performance?
I'll give you $20. We'll say each other, yeah?
Well, the Scotch guys are pretty good. We had Uni Blacks in terms of where they turned it around from, we beat them by 90 points first game, then they knocked us off. St Kevin's, they were always really well drilled and tough to play against.
Have an opinion, Tom.
Yeah, come on.
Mate, we don't need you to name every team in the A grade.
Look, I think you can clearly say on the totality of the games and what's been before us these first 12 weeks that Old Zabs are a really strong form side. So they look like the biggest challenge for every team going into the last few weeks of the year.
Strangey?
Yeah, look, pre the Tullamarine flu, I think people call it, I would have certainly had Old Brighton there, just longevity, for years and years. And, they were the mark of the competition last year until the last
game.
Yeah, as a Saints supporter, mate, that's all that matters. Look, I'd say Brighton I would back as a club and a great organisation. But look, I think right now it's probably proofs in the pudding with Xavier, how they're going, and they're probably the tip that you'd be taking.
It's theirs to lose.
To be honest, it would be one of the all-time chokes.
Hello to Cosy if you're listening.
He'll be listening, don't worry
he
about it.
He might be still in Positano, Cosy, I don't know.
Gentlemen,
been back all year.
I think you two might be needed along the boundary line just to make sure that cooler heads prevail in this second half.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time at the halftime show.
Good work.
Thanks, Paddy.
The presidents of today's footy clubs, Old Scotch President Will Strange and Old Brighton President Tom Clark with us on the halftime show. Thanks to Robert Miller, property advocate, Melbourne's #1 property advocate. Very few have Rob's agency know-how, let alone experience, and he's got all the tools to help you make champion decisions. The truth is, facts don't lie. A break, and on the other side of this, the second half.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
The Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Star Award recognises the competition's most talented young players. Each week, the VAFA Rising Star Committee receives nominations for one male and one female player, aged 20 years or under, who played no more than 7 senior games before this season. Our overall season winners will be declared the Anytime Fitness VAFA Rising Stars for 2025. So, if your club has a young gun making their mark, nominate them now at media@vafa.com.au.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Half-time at the Camberwell Sportsground. Our third quarter is coming up thanks to Australian Venue Company, a platinum partner of Old Scotch, who provide over 200-plus venues, which are some of Australia's most loved pubs, bars and event spaces, including the Auburn and Hawthorn hotels. Old Scotch members can take their family and friends and use AVC's customer loyalty card, the Pass, and get 10% discount on food and drinks, in turn generating valuable points for the football club. Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham, Paddy Grindlay and Raj Johnston with you this afternoon, where we find Old Brighton up by 2 points, 38-36 at half-time, after a very bad-tempered second term in which Doug Lawrence was reported. It sounds like Hugo Higginbotham, like Tom Fisher, the number 6 for Old Brighton, who's been a staple of this footy club, is out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so something happened there earlier. I think he might be a concussion, I think, Paddy. So that's a tough one for Brighton. Doug Lawrence, apparently it's the 4th time he's been reported this season. And innocent every time. What a just mistaken identity.
Classic. Hard to miss the big number 22. Yes. The other one, Jamie Hope, was involved in that collision with Doug Lawrence. We hope he's okay. No word on whether he's okay to continue on in this game of footy quite yet. Let's go down now to Raj Johnston, who's on the boundary for us and has been getting involved in some scraps of his own, I'm sure, on the concourse. Raj Johnston, your notes from half-time. We don't quite have Raj by the sound of things.
He's in another scrap out there.
And he might be breaking up another one. We'll get down to Raj Johnston in the opening moments of the third quarter as we just wait for a start here. I think there's an open gate out in the boundary which is just holding us up. So the boundary umpire will resolve that for us, and then we'll be stuck into the footy. 38 plays 36. Old Brighton lead it by 2 points, Simon Petch. Can they continue on their good work?
Well, let's face it, this hasn't hit the heights that we thought it might have, really. It's a very low-scoring, scrappy, dour sort of struggle. I don't really think there'll be much in it at the end of the game because there's nothing between these two sides at all. And it's interesting to note that Butler's gone into the middle here for Brighton. Haven't seen him in there today. So for the Australian Venue Company, third term underway, and who really wants it? Lipscomb gets the first kick here for Scotch. Butler chopped it off. Gregson has it. Camberwell Road side of the ground. Stays high in the air, into the breeze. Dick volleyball spiked it, got it back again. Now Hayes just bombs it on the boot, gets some distance with that kick to centre half forward. Clark Lilly reeled it in, looked for the free kick, wasn't there with Cork, and Yorgie ends up with it now for Brighton. Small grandstand side of the ground. He goes with a kick, but Hayes chops it off. Handball Farah goes in short to the pocket to Clark, fished away by Cork. Now he goes in again, Farah. He picked it up, he got the handball out. Gregson ends up with it, deep in the right forward pocket there for Scotch. Now it goes back, and Dimatina takes the mark in front of the small grandstand.
So left half back for Kai Dimatina. Of course, a few games for Port Melbourne VFL this year. Son of a gun.
Oh, not with that effort.
Oh dear, not great. Straight to Gelbart. Goes back inside. 50 Morrisby.
Yeah, strong.
He's used all the gripper up at half-time. Fraser Morrisby brought it down directly in front of goal, 30 metres out. There's some concern for the man on the mark. It was very slow to his feet. Might be Fergus Murray, who...
Oh, I think I know what's happened
very
there.
proppy on the left knee, Hugo, for hit IQ.
I think Morrisby's come down on top of him, basically. That's what I honestly think would happen. Morrisby had eyes for the ball there and took an amazing mark, and it was a good contest, but he's come down on top of him.
So Fergus Murray is on haunches. He's trying to stand up for a moment. He's now back to his knees. A trainer is with him now. Inside 50 at the bowling club end of Camberwell Sportsground. He's now just to his haunches, and yeah, that left leg.
It's either a knee or an ankle on the left side there.
Not good for Fergus Murray, of course. The Tunners already down Tom Fisher, and Jamie Hope was collected high by Doug Lawrence in that second turn as well. So this could be one on the bench stuff for the Tunners, as Fergus Murray requiring the assistance of a trainer and a runner to get himself out off of Camberwell Sportsground. Meanwhile, Fraser Morrisby has the set shot directly in front for an opportunity to kick his second. Just tall timber this year for old Brighton, Hugo. It's been a cursed position.
Yes, and it's getting worse as we speak. It's going to be another long quarter too. Might have my dinner reservation back if it keeps going this way. Another 35 minute, that'll be horrible. But this is taking a long time to get off the ground.
Yeah, so the umpire resuming play now. So Morrisby will take his shot as Fergus Murray is helped off the ground with the assistance of two trainers, one on either arm. So now we're with Fraser Morrisby. He's got one today, 11 goals on the season in his 8 games so far. He's got a role to play for the Scotchies in the run home. Fraser directly in front, 30 metres out, kick. Directly through the middle from Fraser. And Scotch has the lead back, 42 plays 38, 3 minutes gone in this third quarter for the Australian Venue Company. Morrisby's got a couple.
Well, that was on the back of an amazing mark, and you never want to see a player injured like that in a break-in play. And sometimes when players have that break-in play as well, it gives footy players too much time to think, and then they nearly miss the ball. But that was an excellent execution on goal there, and a much-needed one as well. So they've started well here, Scotch. It's going to be a game of attrition that we're going to have to watch here with Brighton. So it's going to be very interesting.
And Jamie Hope is back on the ground. He's taking his spot at right half forward. Petchy, so good to go.
So back into the middle for the Australian Venue Company third term. Again underway in the middle. Grant overran it really. Gregson got it out, but Tawney first of the footy. Got a high kick towards half forward. It bounces away from Cork. You could say it bobbled away from him. And it goes over the line out of play. We'll have a ball in. 4 points the margin. Scotch lead here. 6-6-42 to 5-8-38 Brighton. 4 minutes played in this third quarter, but really we've not even had a minute of play, to be honest, because of that injury to Murray. Thrown back in, deep in the right forward pocket. Olivier got there first, palmed it down. They get a kick away here. Brighton, a wobbly one, and mark taken here by Easton on the pointy end of the centre square. Bowling green end of the ground is his target. With the breeze in this third quarter. Here's a beautiful left foot kick, Easton. He'll go as long as he can. Puts it out there. It's a wobbly kick towards the goal. And Morrisby's done it again.
Oh, he's on. The big fella is on.
That was a wobbly kick in towards full forward. Morrisby just stood there this time and took the mark as easy as you like.
How strong. Tell you what, they better have another footy on standby, because he's going to pop. He's going to pop one of these soon with those big jukes coming up.
Might collect one of those Shetland ponies if he kicks it too hard.
So looking at his third goal of the well, he's at the wrong end for that, but
a big kick.
Does it down here. Third goal he's looking for, and Scotch's seventh. They'll open up the third quarter with a buzz here if he puts this one through. So Morrisby, bowling green into the ground. In the forward pocket, a drop punt into goal. He's missed it. And a minor score there to Scotch, taking them on to 6-7-43. Brighton 5-8-38 for the Australian Venue Company. 6 minutes has elapsed, 5.5 elapsed in this third term. But we've really only had 2 minutes of play.
Yeah, spot on, Petchy. So Fergus Murray saw, Tom Fisher done for the day. Jamie Hope saw, but able to take his place is Dick. Big fly in the mark from 3 deep. He's been a presence today for the Tunners on return. Bandage around his head from the very start of this contest after a nasty head knock a couple of weeks ago for the Big V nominee. He goes long down the line, small grandstand side. Brady with the big fist for Scotch. Kicked forward into the hands, though, of Suddle. So the old Scotch defender will go towards centre half back, and Dennis, who's got Easton's sweeping pass for the handball receive. And Brody runs his full length, kicks at Camberwell Road side on the bounce. Charlie Richardson for the Tunners did well. Polkinghorn, though, takes the footy. Wanted Lipscomb or Farah, finds Farah driven forward in the tackle, and the umpire pays the push. So free kick going the way of Farah, who goes into the corridor for Walsh. Not a great kick. Dick on the scene. Applied the spoil. Agricultural, though, by Butler. Gives away the free kick, and Scotch will get it through the corridor. Simon Petch.
So Brown's got it. He goes there, but Diamantina chops it off inside the centre square. Brings it back towards Gregson. Not a real good kick. It didn't help him out at all in the middle of the ground. The cavalry arrived. Now Tawney upended there by Butler, brought to ground, and the umpire says, give it a meal. ball that one up. So not a good kick there by Dimatina. Into the middle to Gregson, held up play. Grant got it down, kick away Tawney. They go forward, down towards Clark. He was over his head. It was that far, and it dribbles over the line out of play, deep in the right forward pocket. Hugo will have a ball in.
Just noticing with Fisher off the ground there, the Cardinals are starting to get on top with those clearances. It's been all Brighton earlier, but now it's starting to become telling.
And no Lawrence back on the ground at the moment either. So Brighton still will be happy about that. Thrown back in, Clark at the back, Olivier in front. Both got a hand onto that one. Lowen at bootlaces. Bent down, picked it up, got a kick, a short one. Dick goes in. Oh, gee whiz. Was that 15? Not from here, from me. He goes out wider here, lucks a fortune to Richardson, and he marks just before the scoreboard looms. So he's out of sight of the ground. Camberwell roadside he goes. Past the scoreboard up towards centre wing. Prior there went the fisted punch. Well, fell to ground, now a chance, Tawney. Handball, not a good one. Olivia opened the door up for him. Kick was a bad one. Brady to handball was a bad one. Prior got it back. Brighton go forward to Hope. And he takes the mark. Deep in the right forward pocket, Camberwell Road side of the ground.
Just got sucker punched into handball here because he's completely handballed that to the wrong jumper.
Yep.
And anyway, well, you can't do much about that sometimes, can you?
So here's some trouble the scorers today. Jamie Hope, and he's looking at his first. We saw Pryor kick one from this angle in the first term. They look to arrest the lead back by a point if he's accurate enough, but he's straight off the side of the boot, basically. That's out of play. That's a bad miss. And no score to Brighton.
We'll go quickly down to the boundary and Raj Johnston for his half-time talking points, Raj.
Yes, Paddy, I spoke with both coaches at half-time. Old Scotch's Mark Nat thinks the game is evenly poised, but he does think his side has the ability to run a bit more, challenge Brighton on the outside and continue to use their tools effectively.
So Dennis, long down the line. Thank you, Raj. We'll get the Brighton point of view in just a second as Montanaro intercepts on the Camberwell roadside wing, kicks it inside 50. Walsh and Dick takes the ball, snaps towards goal. It'll have to bounce really nicely for him, and it doesn't, through for a minor score. Raj, did you catch up with Marcel Bruin as well?
Yeah, Marcel Bruin of Old Brighton thinks the game shifted more their way in the second quarter. It's turned into a multitude of contests. He wants his side to stay focused and stay in the contest.
43 plays 39, Scotch by 4 points, Simon Petch.
So Dimatina's got it, Dick around the body with a kick. Oh, gee, fanning upended after that by Brady, and he'll get the free kick. Gee, Brady was, did he what? Yeah. He knew his head was there. He wasn't going to miss it. And Fanning will go back and have a shot here. And may put this one through. Hope missed, not an easy one, but a shot that he should have at least scored with only moments ago. And this, if accurate enough, to put Brighton back in front. They trail by 4. They can lead by 2. Fanning's inside the 45-metre arc, main grandstand end of the ground. He's brought it back. That was an ungainly looking style of kick, but it landed on the boot okay, and Brighton kicked their 6th. They go into 6-9-45, leading Scotch 6-7-43. For Australian Venue Company, 10 gone third term, and Fanning kicks his first goal of the afternoon.
And first goal in senior footy for Old Brighton as well for Sam Fanning, so a big congratulations for the 18-year-old still out of East Sandy and Brighton Grammar and the Sandy Dragons, who was very handy indeed in the big V under-19s game where he had the 14 disposals and a couple of goal assists as well, the number 49. Love a heavy number in these parts. Scotch have a few of them today. Back to the middle we go. Grant with the fist down, gained a couple of metres, then gets the handball clear of the centre circles, and Barter tried to swing off the tackle to Gregson, got it to Henry Brown. High kick inside 50 for Morrisby again!
He's got that. Oh, jeez.
He has the stickiest mitts of anyone on the ground at the moment, Fraser Morrisby.
Yeah, 1 grabbers today. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. 1 grabbers by him.
That was a tough one because it wasn't a drop punt. It was swirly. He had to take it about hip height.
Yeah.
And 1 grab straight in the hands for Fraser Morrisby. So this is the part that's been troubling for him today. It's the conversion from the set shot.
Well, the kicks inside that 45 have been wobbly.
Yeah,
right? But gee, he's made up for it, hasn't he?
I certainly has. But what's really telling is that was another clearance to the Cardinals from the centre of the ground. So they've really gotten on top there.
So Morrisby 35 metres out, tight angle from the right forward pocket, approaching it straight. Right footer drop punt from Fraser. He's missed. To the right hand side. His teammates were coming over to celebrate. The goal umpire ruined the party.
They sure were.
Through for a minor score. 1 point ball game here at Camberwell Sportsground. Old Scotch 6-8-44. Old Brighton 6-9-45 for the Australian Venue Company.
So low scoring game, but a tight contest. There's Fanning, palms it down. Hayes got in the way. Kicks to Moresby again. Fist away there by Cork. It fell here to Olivier, who gave it to Hill, who got to kick through only as far as Easton, who then fumbled the mark, but good enough to get back onto his left. Got the handball back here towards Tawney, who Gregson. He upended someone. He went in and he got the ball away from Troon. Now they go in. Carrianis there. Dick there. Kick here towards Hope. Now Hope all on his lonesome. Will it sit for him? Handball inside the goal square and kick in the goal. And Brighton kick it. And Dimatina has put it through.
So that was just purely on the back of, who was it, Gregson, through the middle of the ground there. Didn't give the ball up, just kept pushing and just aggressively pushing his way through. They couldn't tackle him and just did everything to move the ball forward. So that was excellent play.
He's a bull. Every time that ball's on the ground and his head's near it, he won't give up. And once again, that was on display there.
Yep.
Absolute bull at the footy.
You've got to be a brave man to put you over the ball
Absolutely,
today,
you do. Or today you do.
There's a few coming the other way.
There's plenty coming the other way, and that's where the courage of these players is shown. It's on show here today.
So this game just opening up a little bit in these last 5 minutes, and as I say that, we'll get a repeat stoppage in the centre of the ground. Raj Johnston's on the boundary.
Prince of Old Scotch is back on the ground after serving his time after his incident with James Hope.
Oh, look out. Hill gets the clearance straight up and down the chimney. Mark not paid. Travers will do the tackling of Old Brighton, so it'll be thrown up. True centre half forward for the Tunners, who've kicked the last 2 goals of this game through Fanning and Dimatina to take the lead back here at Camberwell Sportsground. 51 playing 44 on the Australian Venue Company scoreboard. Free kick from the restart. Another Tunners ball. Here's the ball, Gregson. He's 2 kicks from home. He's being pointed to go long. Dick sneaking out the back. The kick goes shorter for Hope. Hayes gets in the road. Carrianis at ground level. Wasn't clean on the first time of asking. Barter bundles him over the boundary line. The ball stays in. Oh, big tackle laid there on the debutant Spears, and then eventually it will trickle out between wing and half forward for the Tunners, 7-point leaders.
Right done by Carrianis, so he didn't carry on there after that push. He just keeps going himself. He doesn't look back. He just keeps looking forward. Ball to be thrown back in. Shetland pony flank, basically. Olivier palms it down in front of Grant. Got it back again. He broke a tackle. No, he didn't. He couldn't break through Tawney. Not many do that. The ball gets thrown in the air again. He goes up. He palms it down. Olivier Gregson, a handball out the side. Easton waited. Carrianis got him. Threw him into the deck like a rag doll. And he'll end up with the free kick advantage. Hayes run down by Hill. Great tackle laid on him. And Harry gets the free kick here for Brighton as Hayes just upends Yorgie. Nothing in that really because Hill's got the footy anyway. I think he just got in the way. He goes towards the pocket. Grant up. Dick hard at the footy against him there, but Sam held on to it. Right in the left back pocket here. For Scotch. He kicked it straight into Dick, who kicks it straight in towards goal and missed. Oh, bad kick. Wow. Minor score there to Brighton, taking them on to 7-10-52. Scotch 6-8-44. Margin 8 points.
Easton's kicked it straight to Jamie Hope, who's tried to kick it inside to Fanning, and he'll have a chance at his second. 30 metres out. Well,
comedy of errors.
That's about 80 seconds of footy that no one will ever want to see again, I imagine.
Is it pressure?
Yeah, that's perceived pressure as well because people want him to move the ball on so quickly. But you know, that was a great intercept mark by the big fella there in Clark, but he wasn't even standing up before he tried to kick it.
No, it was awful.
So Fanning from right half forward. We're right behind this one. He's a left footer. The angle will suit that foot. Here it comes. That's a beautiful drop punt.
Perfect.
Sam Fanning has a couple. And Old Brighton just starting to get a wriggle on now. 14-point leaders here at Camberwell Sportsground. It's their largest lead of the game so far. 8-10-58 lead, 6-8-44. Sam Fanning, the teenager, has 2.
Yes, Brighton are very good when they move the ball fast. So that was a bad turnover there. We saw that. They got it down quick and then found the loose player and a good execution because we've seen some missed from that distance on that angle with that bruise playing a bit of a part out there. But Harry Hill was on the back of all that before earlier as well. So he's a very important player, especially now with Fisher out.
So 3-2 to 1-2 in this third term, and that's into the breeze here for Brighton. So they've done well. Yorgie off the square came in with intent, but he missed whoever he wanted, and Hill gets held up and brought to ground, and the Scotch player has hurt himself as he tackled Harry Hill, but he'll get up. And
it might be Tawney.
As he gets up, Hill is sort of holding his jumper, and Tawney gets up, and he just says, no, I'm all right, let's get on with it.
No, he's heading to the bench.
Okay, so clash of bodies there. Tawney about to come off. Down at the half-forward area here for Scotch. Now Hill roved it beautifully. Handball Campeely. Brighton go forward with the kick to centre wing. Brady one-handed, not good enough. They go to ground, and a free kick. Travers is it who was on the bottom of the pack. Handball came out to Campeely. Kick towards centre half forward. Hope sets himself in from the side with Suddle. He fisted it down. They overran it, except Olivier. Handball back to Brady though. Not a real good one. Now Travers towards the boundary line. Pryor's got it. Will he go out? He will. And the umpire says ball it in. We'll have a ball in deep in the right forward pocket here for Brighton. Doing all the attacking. They've kicked 3-2 into the breeze in this third quarter to Scotch's 1-2. And they lead by 14 for the Australian Venue Company, who have gone 18 into this third quarter. Camberwell Road side of the ground. Thrown back in. They all miss it. It goes nearly inside the centre square. Lipscomb ended up with a good tackle. Dimartina. And he gets the free kick here for Brighton. He was hot on him.
Yeah.
He's got the kick here, Kai Dimartina, but he doesn't look too confident. I imagine that swirly breeze is a lot stronger at ground level than up with us in the grandstand. He's a massive kick of the footy.
Well, he is fancying himself here, Paddy. He goes right back into the centre square now. Pryor leads. Seagar made half a lead, but he didn't even see that. So Dimartina to stretch the margin. A helicopter-style kick.
Well, the big fella on the line.
But Clark has fisted it through right at the last line, taking Brighton on to 8-11-59. Scotch on 6-8. 44-19 gone in this third term. The best quarter of footy so far in the game.
And an equal largest lead of the game for either squad now for the Tunners. Easton's going to go straight up the guts. Goes right into the centre circles. Grant with the fly. Cork went with him, got the fist down, and he's still in the middle of the ground. Shroon picks it up, kicks it to centre half forward. Yorgie cuts it down. Gus Cork still on hands and knees. And now Carianis with the footy. Fergus Murray already down and saw for old Brighton earlier in this term. I don't need another defender hurt. Seagar now, left half back, Hugo.
He's still down on his haunches in the middle of the ground there. I reckon it might have been an errant elbow or hand to the furniture, which just takes a little while to adjust to.
Yeah, you've got to adjust that.
Yes.
Yeah, don't feel count. Short from Butler in the Seagar direction along the small grandstand wing. There's the debutant Kemp wading his way in and out of trouble. Went in the direction of Walsh, and his handball out of play between the benches. So small grandstand side will be thrown in. Gus Cork good to go.
He's still in a bit of trouble there. How long does it take to count to 2?
Simon Petch, over to you.
You're suggesting they should have Hectors on today, do you? Thrown back in. There's Grant to the front of the pass, Clark to the front. Goes towards the boundary line. Dimartina sees it over. Barter, I think, wanted to force him over, but he didn't get there in time. And in front of the interchange benches, splitting both benches, will have the ball thrown back in. 8-11-59 Brighton, 6-8-44 Scotch down at the Camberwell Sportsground here today. Brighton have the lead so far. Fanning, Clark, they both got a hand onto it. Stubbings through. Kick wasn't a real good one. It was messed up. He goes in after it again. Dived on top of the footy. Subtle there. Got a handball down to ground. But now the defence of Brighton somehow work it out. And the mark has been taken by Fanning. He's got it again. He's had a good quarter. Small grandstand side of the ground. He goes close to the boundary line. Olivier kept it in. He kept it alive. Easton gets onto his trusty left boot. He gets a handball. Not a good one to Stubbings. Carianis picked up. Handball. Dick lost it. Free kick going Brady's way, and he'll take it here for Scotch.
Hamish Dix, he's just the kind of player, he'll have a big 2 minutes and it would pretty much win the game of footy. He's just imposing himself that time. biting a little bit more off than he could chew. Here's Farah in the centre square and goes Camberwell Road side. Subtle. Next in the chain is Clark up ahead. The kick to him is, well, not great. Bounced it to the waiting mitts of Clark, though, who just stepped to the inside, showed some agility, and then kicked it long inside 50 to Barter, and it's a downfield free kick.
Gee, we've seen a bit of this today, haven't
For
we,
a
off the footy?
play.
Yeah. Well, you've got 3 umpires, so the third umpire is obviously watching in the forward line, and they're looking for that.
They've spotted it just about every time, really.
So it was a free kick off the play to Morrisby.
And it's all been down the bowling green end.
He's got a chance for his third. As we mentioned, Petchy, it's the conversion from set shot which has been the problem for Big Fraser today.
The last time he had a shot from here, he missed.
Yep. So his left forward pocket, 25 metres out. Angle's not too harsh, though. Needs to cut the margin back to 9 points. Fraser Morrisby, drop punt approach is good.
Yes.
So they needed that one, Scotch. 7-8-50, trails 8-11-59. Fraser Morrisby, he's now got 3, equalling his season high. 3 goals on 3 occasions now for the big number 25. 9-point game of footy for the Australian Venue Company.
That goal umpire there went sprinting across. And these goal umpires got something in for me because I swore that was a point. The way he moved, and that's a goal. I had the bloke the other week who wouldn't move, and I called it a goal. This bloke, he's doing the 100-metre dash up and down the goal line.
We had the fella out at St Bernard's who sat behind the hill and refused to get the footy for nor love nor money.
He's probably still sitting there, that bloke.
Probably is. So Morrisby, last 3 goals of the game for Old Scotch. Let's go quickly down to Raj Johnston on the boundary for us.
Yeah, Paddy, good to see Jake Tawney back on the ground. He was assessed by the trainer, had a bit of soreness around his mouth, but he's back on now, which is good to see.
Okay, ball out of the centre square now. Walsh has got it, brought to ground. Travers had him, but he didn't have the footy, Walsh, and he gets the free kick here for Scotch. So they'll go forward again from that centre bounce, or centre ball up. He's on centre wing, Camberwell Road, side of the ground, told to play on by the umpire. Standing right beside him, he goes to half forward. Mark. Grant's taken a beauty. That was one grab. Couldn't be spoilt from behind, and a Cork was trying to do that. Grant goes to Clark, and he marks right where Morrisby kicked the last goal.
We spoke about this pre-game, Hugo. The big guys for Old Scotch, they don't get any smaller.
No, and it's a real good 1-2 punch because Clark, a very accomplished ruckman, so he's come up into the ruck. But that mark from Grant there, that was strong. That's what he does. He's usually behind the ball, but when you can throw him forward as well, that's an amazing thing.
So Will Clark looking at his first score of the afternoon, right in front of the scoreboard, which reads Brighton 8-11-59, Scotch 7-8-50. This to peg the margin back to 3 points at the 24-minute mark of the third term, and he's missed to the left. So a minor score, 7-9-51 Scotch, 8-11-59, 7-9-51 to 8-11-59, 8 points to the margin, 24 gone in this third quarter.
So this one might go the distance here on VAFA.com, and the SEN app is Grant again. It went through his fingers at right half forward. Hayes at ground level tracks it. Hopes around there as well for Brighton. Over the head, the handball from Tawney was terrific. Grant flicked it back into the pack though. Gregson inches it forward for the Tunners. Easton cuts it off. Handball to the inside along the carpet, not without danger. Brody's got it back. His kick was smothered by a despairing Pryor. Didn't bounce well for Fanning. Brighton have just inched it up to the 50-metre arc where the ball will stop and be thrown in the air. Great smother there.
Yeah, they were out there, Scotch, so that was very good. And that was important too. We're at the 25-minute mark.
Olivier with the left mitt spikes it to the arc of 50. Hope dragged off his handball. Threw it, booted it. Carianis against the boundary line on the left. Goes to a goal, nearly on the chest. Travers couldn't hold on. Would have been a terrific mark.
Come in like a missile. And he was running just as fast.
He rushes it through for a behind. Brighton 8-12-60. Old Scotch 7-9-51. 26 minutes gone in the third, thanks to the Australian Venue Company.
So Suttle right up the middle of the ground. Good distance with the kick. Grant fists it away back into the middle. Burn-Jones has it, broke a tackle. Goes one way, then the other. He fooled everyone. Wobbly kick off the boot. Not a real good one. Carianis ends up with it. At half back here for Brighton. He goes short. Edgar will pick it off, and he does just that. Richardson ended up with it from a handball. He goes to half forward to Pryor. And Ben Pryor came out and took a good strong mark in front.
He likes the angle, Ben Pryor, today.
That was play of the day from defence there. Yep. Carianis starting it off. He's had a good second and third term, Carianis.
There was the pressure on that Scotch kick from the middle of the ground, though, too. So, you know, they couldn't get an easy entry, and then they rebounded beautifully. But that mark by Pryor, that was very strong.
The marking today's been excellent, and it's been a good day for it as well. He's kicked 2. He's looking at his third. nearing the end of this third turn. They lead by 9. He can stretch the margin. Pryor
That's
goes
No,
across the face, fisted through, just. And minus score there to Brighton, taking them on to 8-13-61. 10 points in front of Scotch on 7-9-51. For the Australian Venue Company, we've gone just on 26.5 in this third turn.
Morris with the fake. Dougie gets around Sam Fanning. Old dog, new tricks, all that kind of business. It's a kick that goes past halfway. Hayes chases it down, tries to get away from Richardson, but he stepped over the boundary line in doing so. Let's go briefly around the grounds. That's all thanks to McQueen Financial Group. St Kevin's by 27 points over the Uni Blues. Collegians by 9 over the University Blacks. D-Lar by 20 over St Bernard's. And the Old Zavarians by an even 10 goals, 60 points over Old Haileybury in South Caulfield. So the Zavs, regardless of the result here today with that percentage boost, should finish round 13 still atop the ladder, which is where they started it. Grant with the hit out between wing and half forward. Small grandstand side. Scotch an attack, not after that. Karianasaki puts it past halfway. Brown, he nearly headed onto it, Jack. That does mop up well. Gave it away sideways. Stubbings, the handball, no good. Breyer on the scene, goes to ground. Tackled by Stubbings, released the footy. Harry Stubbings sideways to Troon. Pryor saw in back play. Eventually it gets through and it's marked here for Scotch by Polkinghorn. Hugo inside 50 for Clark, who's got 2 tonners to deal with. And I think that was Cork, who came steaming into the contest and held onto a terrific contested intercept grab.
He's in a bit of trouble there, Pryor, at half-back there. I think he got a hit to the face or a kick, I think, possibly when he went in for that ball, but he's still hunched over.
50 metres here for Cork. Simon Petch, he'll go past halfway.
So they bring it down to inside the 45-metre arc here, Brighton. A wobbly kick, good mark. Travers nearly held on to the bush.
He's got a free kick here.
Oh, gee, I tell you what, that was courageous. He was going back with that flight. He knew he had someone behind him, and he eventually got a push, and he'll take the free kick here, Travers, directly in front.
Quite like James Buddy steaming past the boundary line. He heard the whistle go and he just went off with a 5-second string of expletives.
Yeah. Good contest by both of them.
Yes,
Travers one out.
Off the back of another 50-metre penalty.
Yes.
So they've been costly.
So here he is. And hasn't troubled the scorer today. You can hear Brady from here. Puts it on its way. Kicked it. Didn't put him off. Did not put him off at all, and Travers kicks his first goal of the afternoon. A Brighton kick there. 9th. They'll go to 9-13-67, 16-point margin over Scotch on 7-9-51 for Australian Venue Company. 29.5 gone in this third term.
You've got to make the most of your opportunities, don't you? Because Scotch had that shot on goal before to put them within a couple of points, and then now off the back of a 50, another goal for Brighton to give them a 16-point lead coming into three-quarter time.
Yeah, 4-5 in this quarter, Brighton. 4-5 to 2-3 Scotch.
Kicked 4 of the last 5 as well, the Tunners, and it's a game-high 16-point lead, which I suppose explains how close this has been as Butler pulls down Stubbings. The umpire calls them to play. Stubbings and Lowen will wrestle over it, even after the whistle. He's thrown up.
Both wanted to give it back to the umpire.
Very charitable indeed. So ball back in the air. Olivier has been manful in his fight against Grant. Dimartino takes it, gets a little left foot rolling snap in the direction of Pryor, who's back to his feet. Suttles took the footy. Troon goes out wide, whistle on the play. I think Campeoli gave one away and it will be brought back down the Camberwell Road wing. So Easton or Troon, it'll be Troon who takes the footy.
Been a lot of free kicks in this game, hasn't there?
21-year-old out of North Ballarat, and that will finish us up. Three-quarter time here at Camberwell Sportsground. Old Scotch 7-9-51, trail Old Brighton 9-13-67. It's a 16-point Tunners advantage. That quarter going just a tick over 30 minutes, all for the Australian Venue Company. We'll hear from Old Scotch coach Mark Natt after the break, inside his huddle as well, thanks to Raj Johnston. More after this.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food, because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com. Would you like to get more closely involved with footy and enjoy the unique camaraderie and bonds that exist in and around footy clubs? VAFA clubs are always looking for volunteers to assist with the weekly running of the club, both on and off the field. Log on to vafa.com.au and check out our club directory to find a club near you.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Fun finish ahead. Old Brighton lead at 9:13.67. Old Scotch 7:9.51. It's a 16-point three-quarter time advantage for the Tunners, who kicked 4-2 in that third term for the Australian Venue Company to take command here at Camberwell Sportsground. The goal kickers for the Tunners, 2 each for Pryor, Richardson, Hill and Fanning. Dimatina and Travers, the single goal kickers for Old Scotch. Moresby has 3 singles for Henry Brown, Barter, Farah and Grant here. So Old Scotch, they led it by 7 points at quarter time, but since then they've kicked 4 goals. The Tunners have kicked 7. And in fact, they've kicked 4 of the last 5 of this contest. We'll hear from Old Scotch coach Mark Knapp in just a few moments' time. We'll have the mic in his huddle, all thanks to the Blenheim brand. For more than 25 years, they've been producing award-winning branding and communications across a vast array of industry categories and business sectors using their 4-step process of discover, think, create and become. So Raj Johnston and Mark Nat up in the next couple of minutes. Before we get inside the Scotch huddle, Hugo Higginbotham, the best analyst in amateur footy, that third quarter it really felt that it opened up a little bit, and it opened up in the favour of Old Brighton.
Well, it did, but Scotch had their opportunities, probably a couple of shots on goal. But once again, giving away a few free kicks here and there. But Harry Hill really was on the back of every sort of forward thrust that they have. So, very important player. Let's just see how they go in this last quarter with being a few down on the bench. And remember, they give away 7-4 in the last quarter of their last game to lose that one when they were in front at three-quarter time.
You're exactly right, and they have got some sore bodies who are out there, as well as a couple of sore bodies who are not out there. So yes. Tom Fisher's done for the day. I suspect that Fergus Murray is as well. We'll find out about that from Raj Johnston in a few minutes' time after that leg injury where he could barely put any weight off it and it was helped off the ground. We saw Ben Pryor get collected. He's sore. Jamie Hope was collected by Doug Lawrence early in the game. He's sore as well. So they're going to be a little bit short-handed in this finish of Brighton. Let's go now inside the Old Scotch huddle. This is the voice of their coach, Mark Knapp.
Right, snap. Nice to me. Stay positive. We had plenty of looks there, didn't we? We had plenty of looks. Right, so it's not like we're starved of opportunity up front. Okay, so now we've got to take our opportunities, right, which they did. Okay, what do you think it's going to take for us to get over the line here? What are we going to need to do? Speed. It's run and carry, right? It's green 88 tenfold, isn't it? It's absolutely playing that theme that we've been talking about all week. So back each other in. Overlap, run and carry. We don't need to overuse the handball. Surge the ball. If chaos ball in is fine. We've got the smalls there to get it done. Okay, so drive forward, lateral. We've done the forward handball stuff to death, right? So if it's there, take it, right? Burst the bubble, get her in. They're worried about Fev. They're worried about Clark. They'll be in front. They'll demand that front position, right? So now give them an opportunity. Okay, we've got to drive the game from there. So we're going to have the 4-man forward line, 2 higher up to give us the extra numbers. But then we loop back around and go. Get the ball in the hands of Pulse. Get it into Barter's hands. Get it into Brodie Easton's hands. Right, so we've got the kickers getting the ball forward as much as possible. All right, down back, we need a bit of red ball composure. All right, we're handballing and flipping around down there. Get a mark, get it into the middle and accelerate. Get into the middle, go green. Get it to the middle, go green. That's the way we need to play, so drive your legs.
Great to hear the insights of the Old Scotch coach, Mark Nat there. Hugo Higginbotham, they've won 6 of their last 7 last quarters this season, so they are a side that has finished well recently. You mentioned that Brighton, their last quarter, was pretty average against St Kevin's. They just want to move the ball quickly, clearly. Yeah, they have to. So you see, calling green there a few times, the old traffic light signal, so it's got to be go, go, go. And they've got to try and win the game.
they not try and not lose it, if you understand what I mean. That's got to be the attitude. So, and look, they're still behind by 16 points, so 2.5 goals. That's a long way to come back, considering that they've only kicked 7 for the game. Yeah. So look, you can hear how animated Natty was there too. So the messaging is right, but it's just a matter of their execution. And one thing that he was 100% correct about was they have overused the handball today. Both sides have, though. The thing that's come into the game that I know Petch hates as well is just that handball over your shoulder to hope someone's there. And you just can't do that because you're going to turn it over every time. So, like he said, let's just bomb the ball on. Chaos is good, so we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be an enthralling final term. It's a 16-point advantage for Old Brighton, but Old Scotch will be coming home hard. Let's hear from their coach, Mark Nutt. He'll be joined by Raj Johnston.
Thanks, Paddy. Got Mark Nutt with me. Big last quarter coming up, Mark. In your address, you spoke about the importance of speed. Just how important is that to turn the deficit around, and how do you balance that with composure too?
Oh, we just got to take the game on, mate. There's no point. We had plenty of looks there to kick goals, and we didn't take our chances, and Brighton, to their credit, did. So, the game doesn't need to look too different, but I want to see us take it on. I mean, there's no point. We're not going to sit back and wait. We need to make the play and challenge them as much as we can.
Thanks for your time, Mark.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks to Mark Nutt and Raj Johnston. Our huddle report is thanks to Blenheim Brand and the fourth quarter ahead. That's all thanks to Bendigo Bank, Canterbury, Ashburton, Surrey Hills and Balwyn, owned by the local people of those communities. They deliver all the banking you need, from loans and credits and insurance to business banking, investments and more, and invest their profits back into the community, and have recently provided Old Scotch Footy Club with its electronic scoreboard and goal nets, which is great for us because we are a long way away from that magnificent scoreboard here, Hugo and Petchy, but it is a beacon here at Camberwell Sportsground.
Well, let's hope those Bendigo banks stay open, because they're starting to shut a few of them down, which is rather disappointing.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Well, it was in the paper yesterday, so they're obviously in strife. Thrown in the air for Bendigo Bank in this final term, and we're underway, and Gregson gets a high tackle straight away and should get a free kick. No. All right, stays in the middle of the ground. Thrown back in the air again. Olivier got that down. Barter a kick. Scotch go forward. Montanaro. Eyes only for the footy. Goes in and takes the mark. Goes out wide ahead of Butler. And he marks Camberwell Road side of the ground for Brighton. Goes up to Dick and he dropped what he should have taken. Lawrence in behind him. Might have worried him out of it a bit. Gregson goes in. Got the handball back to Campeely. Handball to Dimartino, who found Hill. He got around Stubbings for the handball. He got it back himself, Hill. In front of the score, hold into the pockets, and Hope takes the mark here for Brighton.
Well, there you go. How good is that man? Every time he gets near the ball, something dangerous is going to happen. But to handball into someone, get the ball back again, and then find a hit up like that—that's amazing.
Well, don't forget Gregson played a role in that as well. He didn't give up either. And in front of the scoreboard, Jamie Hope's got it. Out of sight of the ground, 67 playing 51. He can stretch the margin here to 22. He goes in towards goal. Bowling green end of the ground, and he goes right across the face and misses. Minus score to Brighton, taking them on to 9-14-68. Scotch 7-9-51. First minute of this final term for Bendigo Bank being played out down here at Camberwell.
Well, Harry Hill will be filthy because Jamie Hope's just ruined his highlight.
So the build-up, maybe. Just put the build-up on there.
17 points the advantage for the Tunners. Clark in a 1-on-1 as this kick goes long. Polkinghorne faded across the front and the Scotch boys will go forward. It's an awkward kick. Richardson trapped it well and then hacked it back in the other direction. Inside 50, prior it slipped through his fingers. It was a tough thing to mark. The spin of the ball, pretty tricky to get a handle on. Pryor slaps his hands together in frustration. He'll be thrown in right half forward, small grandstand side, 48 metres out from goal.
That breeze has picked up again down here in this final term to the bowling green end as well.
I might check in with Raj Johnston in a few minutes' time about the conditions down there and also of the health of the old Brighton bench with a few players out for the game as this one's thrown back in. It cleared both rucks, storming past the footy. Barter couldn't touch it. Lipscomb and Harry Hill gets through the handball, cut down by Easton. Flings a handball somewhat dangerously across the face of goal. Dick Gregson, goal!
Harry Hill again involved in that.
Yep.
It's a 23-point Tunners lead. 10-14-74. They lead Old Scotch 7-9-51 thanks to Bendigo Bank of Canterbury, Ashburton, Surrey Hills and Balwyn. And Gregson gets some reward for putting his head over the footy all day long. He's got his first goal of the game and Yep, that man Harry Hill, Hugo, he is that dangerous around the footy. Let's go down now to Raj Johnston along the boundary line as the wind picked up a little bit, Raj.
It has, Paddy. I am at that bowls and small grandstand sort of pocket at the ground. The wind has picked up, and also received confirmation that Fergus Murray's done for the day.
Thanks, Raj, for that. So 2 on the bench for the Tunners, Tom Fisher and Fergus Murray out.
So they've shared at Brighton here today. 7 goal kickers for the game so far. And Scotch 5. Here's Dimatina out of the middle. That's a booming kick to full forward, and it goes over the line out of play to the right forward pocket, and we'll have a ball in here. So 7 goal kickers for the day for Brighton, and leading the way there is Fanning with 3. About to be thrown back in down at the bowling end of the ground, bowling green end of the ground. And that's Brighton's end in this final term. Thrown back in, Fanning there, palms it down to ground level. Going through there was Seagar, couldn't control. Edgar there as well. Lipscomb gets held up. And inside defensive 45, he's brought to ground by both Hope and Edgar. And we'll have a ball in the air. Umpire wasting no time out there. Throws it in the air. Grant palms it down nicely. Stubbings, a wobbly kick. We nearly found Kemp. Couldn't hold on to it. Butler ends up with it. Around the body, kick towards full forward, and will it bounce through?
That's a goal.
It's bounced through.
A holding free kick against Pryor by the looks of it at the top of the square.
And
that's the second time today.
Going Scotchy's way down at the bowling green end of the ground.
Tell you what, that wind's really picked up. It's almost like you see the ball speed up through the sky.
It's gotten a lot colder too. I just noticed the Shetland ponies have gone in the stable.
Their little jackets on?
Yeah. No rugs yet.
No rugs yet, but they're seeking shelter. It's getting cold.
Clark marks it right half back for the Scotchies and then kicks it further along the Camberwell Road wing where that ball really holds up, and Harry Hill, who's been in everything in this first 5 minutes, takes the intercept mark. So the skipper imposing himself. He's got a 23-point lead and the breeze. He goes inside 50. It's a long raking right foot kick. Dick with an enormous fist to try and almost get a stoppage out of it, though the ball took an unkind bounce and it's through for a behind. Another one. It's an even 4-goal lead now for the Tunners. 10-15-75 to 7-9-51. 5 minutes gone for Bendigo Bank in the final term. Simon Petch.
25 shots to 16. Yes. Brighton lead the way with that. And a 4-goal margin in favour of them. And they're kicking with the breeze in this final term. Grant's got it out of sight of the ground. Camberwell Road side. He goes in short. Back to Easton and he marks inside. Defensive 45. Scoreboard end of the ground. Umpire tells him to play on. He goes in short. And the mark taken by Henry Brown out there. Handball. He got it back. Now he goes another handball. Standing still. Kick towards centre wing by Scotch. Morrisby there. Couldn't hold on to that one. Lipscomb goes in. Doesn't go the football. And stacks on the mill develop. And we'll have a ball in the air. Centre wing, Camberwell Road side of the ground. Grant grabs it out of the ruck. Goes short with the kick as long as he can, really. Yorgie got a handball out. Hill there again. A handball. Campili missed him. And aboard to ground. Barter. Free kick going against him. And Brighton get the free kick.
The pressure and intensity by Brighton around the contest for those errant balls is very impressive. They're up and about here. So it's quite a good one.
So Dimatina down the Camberwell Road wing he goes, high in the air beneath the scoreboard, through the hands of a couple. Free kick going the way I suspect of maybe a Grant.
Dougie Lawrence, I reckon.
Lawrence, yep.
Yeah.
Good spot, Hugo, for hit IQ.
See the umpire doesn't hold grudges, paid him a free. That's nice.
Just the 2 hands planted on the number for Doug.
Well, they can't be biased, can they?
No, of course not.
Copped the report in the second term for a high hit on Jamie Hope, and that to spend some time off the ground as well, Doug Lawrence. But he's out there at right half back at the moment, high in the air down the Camberwell Road wing once more. Olivier from 2 deep nearly had a crack at bringing it down. Cork in front, Grant at ground level. Try and fight over this footy. A few Scotch guys do that. Hayes kicked it into the face just about, I suspect, of Lowen, and now Montanaro on the outside. Takes a step around Clark, kicks it back towards half forward. Lawrence well positioned. Pryor came across. Lawrence holds on.
Yep.
And quickly to switch it for Troon at centre half back.
So Troon's got it. So here's the switch. He goes into Lipscomb, back in towards the centre square. Stubbings has got it in trouble. Good tackle, Yorgie. Nearly lost the footy. Now a handball came out. Seagar got there first, but it bounced away. Lipscomb. High tackle on him, not paid. Goes towards centre wing with a kick. Barter there. Burn-Jones there. Handball. They go in towards the 45-metre arc. Morrisby had it fisted away by Cork. Ball hits the ground inside 45. Kemp goes through. Morrissey puts his body on the line. He goes in to pick it up and will have a ball in the air.
So that was a better build-up by Scotch there. So use that run and carry through. Yeah, they did. That's what they need to do. Get it away from congestion.
That's what he was telling them, the coach. At three-quarter time, Seagar goes through without it. Now Troon ended up with it, but then he lost it.
It's going to get pinged here.
And the umpire let it go.
What's going on?
And he'll ball it in the air, 46 metres out from Scotch's goal, attacking to the main grandstand end in this final turn. They trail by 4 goals.
Yeah, they need to get a wriggle on here. Mark Nutt's man taken off the footy was Hill, appealing for a free kick, nothing forthcoming, and the umpire rather quickly comes in to throw it up in the air on the white paint of the 50-metre arc. Olivier and Morrisby in the ruck. Dimatina, clean take. Fed Carianis on the outside, no left side, so went on to the right, kicked it high, down the small grandstand wing. Grant dropped the mark he should have taken, had Lawrence for support, who will be calm and precise. Easton along the boundary line, Hill kick. Petrus Olivier came across the front.
That was off.
Didn't take the mark. It might have come off a knee, I suspect, Hugo.
Yep.
So it'll be thrown in, 65 metres out from goal. You missed this a couple of weeks ago, Hugo, so big Yandy Olivier for Brighton, the number 21. He won 50 grand on Millionaire Hot Seat a couple of years ago. Been chasing up the recordings.
A couple of years ago.
Still no luck with Channel 9, so if anyone's listening and can get me the tapes.
Yeah, I think I remember that episode.
So Grant went in the direction of Carianis, and free kick picked out for holding the footy. So Gus Edgar will be rewarded. Tackled Nelson Troon, and the number 40 for Brighton will push them forward down the small grandstand wing.
So as hard as they try here, Scotch, they just can't break this defence of Brighton at the moment. Fanning's got it. Centre wing. Interchange side of the ground. He goes long with the kick. Lawrence goes up. He couldn't hold on to that one. He was too concerned with the man in front of him. Travers dives on the ground. Got the handball hit at Carianis. A little bit of space. Polkinghorne brought him to ground. Good tackle laid on him. He could have got rid of it. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
Thought he had prior opportunity there, but obviously not.
Absolutely. We can see it from here that he could have got that ball out. Thrown in the air again. Grant got it down. Now Campelia handball, Hill. One way then the other handball. Montanaro. Then a backman goes into goal and missed everything. And a resultant free kick going Scotch's way. 10-15-75 Brighton. 7-9-51 Scotch for Bendigo Bank. 10.5 played in this final term.
So an even 4 goals is the largest margin for either squad today, gentlemen. So it feels pretty tough for Scotch, but they can move the football alarmingly quickly when they want to. They're being held up at the moment at the very last line. It's all handball happy stuff. Hayes just has to bail them out. High kick into the corridor. Richardson back with the fly. It eluded him after it is Cork. Morrisby in pursuit. Back to Charlie Richardson, who's gone for a defensive role. That kick hangs, and Grant, that is an almighty thump. He fists the ball out of play. Goes about 10 metres up in the air before making its way over the white line. It'll be thrown in between wing and half forward for Old Scotch.
So it's a toss-up in the battle in the brain. You've got to be fast, but you can't be reckless with it as well. So it's a matter of finding a player and giving the right option and not overusing it. That's the message, and a lot of players get confused with that. They just think, go, 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 and try and boot it as quick as they can.
Grant takes it out of the ruck. Handballed for Brown. He was held onto by Seagar. The umpire picks out the free kick, and Scotch think about the advantage, decide against it. So Henry Brown will take it, tucked in neatly behind the wing. Camberwell roadside wants the switch. Lawrence was covered. So kicks it high in the Clark direction as well. Didn't hit the kick well at all. Morrisby reached Cork with the fist. Barrett cleaned up by Edgar. All fair, says the umpire. Easton over the footy, held up by a couple of tonners on the edge of the centre square. Camberwell roadside, neutral territory.
So important stoppage here.
Thrown in the air. Grant gets that one down. Kick away Gregson towards centre wing. Fanning goes up. Couldn't complete the mark. Brady forces him over the line, but free kick going Fanning's way for a push. And he will take it here for Brighton. Centre wing out of sight of the ground. They lead by 4 goals. They go towards half forward. Lawrence up at all. One-handed over the back. But Sutter was in the way at the back anyway. Backed his own man up and kicks it clear out towards Troon. And he marks before Travers gets there. So they switch from the outer side to the small grandstand side of the ground. And Troon's got it here for Scotch. Brighton have really held them up well here today, over everybody's head, Hill and Barter, and Hill has given away a free kick. Barter gets up holding his solar plexus there. And he gets the free kick here for Scotch. So his eyes are darting around. He's not sure which way to go. He goes up the middle of the ground dangerously. Fished away there by Cork. Morrisby in the middle. Cork ended up with it. Edgar there, head over the football. It's really going nowhere at the moment. Again, Edgar head over the footy. Kicked it straight into Seagar's head. It ricocheted back to the ground. And we will have another ball up.
Hearing it's three-quarter time at the Harry Trott, the community TV game between Collegians and the University Blacks, and it's the Blacks by 11 points leading that game of footy. Free kick in the ruck, picked out for Grant. So the big man for the Cards will drive Old Scotch forward from centre-half back. So 24 points still the margin. We've only seen the one goal in this quarter, that going to Fraser Gregson at the 3-minute mark. We've had 10 minutes of goalless footy since, and Old Scotch, they need to do the scoring if they want to remain a chance in this game. We're now with Lipscomb, left half back. He's got his hands splayed. He's desperate for a target. His kick is no good. Straight to Hill on the bounce. And he just runs forward, Harry Hill. Drives it deep inside 50. No one's at the goal square.
It's going to bounce through a goal! What a goal, Harry Hill. Jeez.
The skipper, he's got the Superman logo on the chest at the moment, Harry Hill. He's been in everything.
It's going to have the Skins logo on as well tonight.
I think so. 11-15-81, Old Brighton, 7-9-51 Old Scotch. Harry Hill has 2 goals, a stack of the footy, and a pair of new skins, I suspect, to go home with. And the Tunners by an even 5 goals. That feels Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ a bit like a backbreaker.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've had their opportunity, Scotch, but they're setting up really well behind the ball, Brighton, just causing those turnovers and taking away times and space. So I reckon Harry Hill could go to one of the local markets on a Sunday and start up a skins store. He would have that many of them in the wardrobe.
Well, he thoroughly deserves this one here today.
Yeah, start rehearsing your answers, Harry.
Has played a terrific game for his side, especially after quarter time. Dick goes to him and he takes the mark at centre-half forward. Well, Hamish knew he was there. It was a blind kick around the body, and Hill, the only man to come out and contest it, marked it on his chest.
This is punching the bruise stuff from Harry Hill.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's, as in coaching we talk about, there's 2 types of forward entries. There's a pressured entry and a clear entry. That was a pressured entry, and they generally go to the middle of the ground because that's the guy's going to kick it. He had front position and he saw the ball coming, was out and took an easy chest mark in the end.
So Breeze in his back. Harry looking at his 3rd goal of the afternoon here for Old Brighton. A kick there 12th. Puts it on its way. Drop punt off the boot. That's pretty good. That's come back nicely, and Brighton kick their 12th. They go into 12-15-87. A long way in front of Scotch now, 7-9-51, 36 points the margin for Bendigo Bank, 16 and a half minutes played in this final term.
Well, when we spoke to Marcel Bruin the other day, Paddy, he said he was really hoping his experienced players would stand up and lead today. Well, none's led any better than the big V captain in Harry Hill. Ably helped out by, Gregson and everyone else around, but he has just been an absolute inspiration for that side today.
A polished display by him. Just terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been superb. So he's now got the 3 goals on the game, Harry Hill. He did that earlier in the year against St Bernard's back in round 3, so maybe some time for a season best tally for Harry. I wonder if he's also got his season best in disposals. He'd have to beat 39, which would be a tall order, but he's had enough of the footy.
He's had a fair bit today.
Yorgie off the back of the stoppage in the centre of the ground, back inside 50 for the Tunners. It's a bit of party time at the moment for the blue and red. Rattles around inside 50. Hill, big tackle on Jack Brown. He got it loose, subtle, down the Camberwell Road wing, high in the sky. Tawney was the only man who jumped up. He wants the corridor. Good option. There's a stack of space here for Troon. Runs his 15 metres, deep inside 50. I didn't know where the footy was there, did Tommy Farrow. It was over his head. Court cleans up, goes to Richardson. He'll go along the small grandstand side. Great kick, I think. Yeah. It might have just gone off the knee there of Jamie Hope and out of bounds in the end.
Touch.
Exactly right. So he'll be thrown in between the benches, small grandstand side wing. 87 plays, 51 for Bendigo Bank of Canterbury, Ashburton, Surrey Hills and Baldwin. Old Brighton now should be able to do it fairly easily, Simon Petch.
Yes, just disappointing here for Scotch. They really haven't produced after half-time, but they haven't had a forward line. If they didn't have Morrisby, well, they'd be in further danger, really. Here's Easton. Handball along the ground, stubbing same, sees it over. And we'll have a ball in. Only 5 goal kickers for Scotch today, and Morrisby led the way with 3. 3 out of 7. He's virtually kicked half the score. And we knew coming into it that was going to be their Achilles heel, Scotch. And I figured it might have been Brighton's as well, but they've put 12 on the board, so well done to them. Grant got it down, Dick roved it, nearly then lost it. Easton ended up with it. Handball for Luck out the side here. Farrer in trouble. Lowen got him. Kick for Luck towards Kemp and Yorgie. They both go at it. Who wins the battle? The umpire does. He wasn't going to give that up, Kemp, was he?
No.
Hey?
No.
And he's still going here with Dick.
And he unfortunately fell on top of Yorgie as well.
You think, unfortunately?
Yeah, well.
It's remarkable how that kind of thing happens, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Max Lowen and the debutant Henry Kemp.
We've got the umpire right there as well.
Yeah, so just throw it in the air, get on with it. Here's Olivia, palms it down here. Morrisby head over the footy. Yorgie brings him to ground. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll do it again. 87 playing 51. Brighton 27 shots to Scotch 16. Still going on. Thrown in the air. Clark fists it clear. Morrisby on his own. Got through a tackle. Goes around the body. High up and under kick and he misses. It bounced just near the goal post and a minor score. Taking Scotch on the 7-10-52. Brighton 12-15-87. That for Bendigo Bank 19 gone. Final term.
He wears number 25, Fraser Morrisby, so he's known as Fev for Brendan Favola, but you can see why the way he plays. He's mercurial. Back into the corridor. Grant, good mark. Goes off sideways. Brown takes on the bounce. That's Henry. Inside 50 for Clark on cork. Got it. That's where you want it, if you will, Clark, in a one-on-one with a smaller opponent. He's got to go back quickly and put this through. Old Scotch, 35 points down. Would have to be just about perfect with 19.5 minutes gone already in this final term. Clark is 20 metres out, slight angle. Hasn't troubled the scorers yet today, has Big Will. But we'll keep this one low and kick it. So Will Clark has Old Scotch's 8th goal. They move to 8 goals, 10-58. Old Brighton 12-15-87. Still very much clear in this game of footy by 29 points. But as we tick it to time on, Old Scotch, well, maybe a couple of quick goals from centre throw-ups. Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
5
in a row.
Yeah. Look, they moved the ball really well then. There was a great intercepting mark by Grant in the middle of the ground and kicking to advantage. So what they need to do is get it to that space, get away from congestion and keep moving the ball forward. Clearance is the key here.
And they don't want to drop their heads either. Thrown in the air again. Fanning tried to ride Grant, but he couldn't. Grant got the tap. Free kick going Scotch's way, and Stubbings will take it inside the centre square. He'll just want to go to Clark again. Morrisby there as well. Kemp leads from the goal square. He leads out. Morrisby leads out. He saw that, but Tawney has to go. Good mark taken by him. He knew the cavalry was arriving. Montanaro a handball to Carianis. He goes long with a kick up towards half forward, but the mark taken out here by Jack Brown in front of the small grandstand in front of Pryor.
This is where they've had trouble all day, Scotch, getting the ball forward from this position.
So Brown goes towards centre wing. Grand eyes only for the footy. It drops Sean Troon. Dropped in and he takes the mark. So he looks at Clark. He doesn't go in that direction though. Lipscomb there. Bouncing ball inside the centre square and Hill again. Picked it off. He goes out towards Gregson. Lawrence charging him down. They both go at it together. Lawrence wins the battle, does he? Got around Campili. Short kick found Walsh. Scotch on the move through Hayes. Handball back to Walsh. He goes inside here to Kemp. No 15. Surely play on. Gets around the body. Goes to Tawney. High tackle. He ran straight into Amish Stick and gets a high tackle. So Tawney goes back to take it. Advantage has been paid. They go further afield. Walsh in the goal. Missed. And a minor score to Scotch, taking them on to 8-11-59. Brighton 12-15-87. We've gone 21 and a half in the final term for Bendigo Bank.
So back to the goal square we go. 21 and a half gone, I think. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's back to the goal.
No. Just confused by the umpire signalling there. So Dimatina, right back pocket. High down the small grandstand wing. Going for a little bit of a float was Richardson.
That's a mark.
And I think Brown, Jack Brown has taken that. So spoiled it to his own advantage, Hugo.
It bounced off his hand and then he realised and went back and took a chest mark. So he's done well.
He's been manful today, Jack Brown,
he's been good.
A running bounce. Will run his full measure and then kick it long on that left inside. Morrisby's got it, surely, yes. So they lost him in transition. Here's the Fevolution from 40 metres out, left half forward. For Scotch's 9th, his 4th. And maybe just to cut the margin down to 22 points, Hugo.
Yeah, possibly. It's good. I'll tell you what, though, he's an amazing footballer, but if you ever cross-coded, wearing a Wallabies jersey, you could see him with that, couldn't you? I think rugby would be perfect for him.
So he hasn't kicked more than 3 goals this season, Fraser Morrisby. So a season high in the offing here. 45-degree angle. He'll kick from about, you'd say, 49 metres. Montanaro, the man of the mark, stands at 42. Gets himself a bit of an arc, Fraser Morrisby. Well, that kick has gone from right to left to right again. It hasn't made the distance, and then Louis Butler puts him out of his misery, takes the intercepting mark. No score, 59 plays 87, 23 minutes gone. And the final term for Bendigo Bank, Canterbury, Ashburton, Surrey Hills and Baldwin.
I think that if it was in the first term he would have kicked that. I think he's stuffed now. He's really played a game to really help his side out. He's given everything, Fraser, and he's just buggered now.
And very physical too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's probably what's taken it out of him. Now, Olivier, Edgar, Hill, Seagar, they all had a piece of it. Oh, he broke a Walsh tackle and fell over, Seagar. Got a handball back, looked for Carrianis, he went to Shepherd. They charge through, Stubbings gets a kick. Into the middle of the ground, they set themselves, and mark taken by Spears in there for Brighton, right inside the centre circles. To the bowling green end of the ground they go, Brighton. A Seagar all on his lonesome. 2 bites of the cherry and he takes the mark. Right on the 45-metre arc. Seagar.
Take your 30 here if you're Geordie Seagar. Just take some sting out of old Scotch, trying to force their way back into the contest. Hugo, for Hit IQ.
Yeah, just slow their momentum and you run the clock down a little bit as well. But also, too, you probably want to kick the goal here, Geordie.
Looking at their 13th of the afternoon. Seagar's first real attempt at goal here today. 45 out from goal. Bowling green end of the ground. Oh, he hit the post. Did he?
I think it just went outside.
To the right side of the post and only a minor score. 12-16-88 Brighton. 8-11-59 Scotch. And we've gone 24.5 in this final term.
So Lawrence last line. Goes one way, then the other. Kicks it towards us on this small grandstand side. The ball will hang and drop for Morrisby and Grant to compete at. Neither could take the mark. Olivier across the front was involved. Lowen waits for the footy. It's hacked clear by the Scotch midfielders. This will be in sufficient intent.
Yeah.
I suspect it is.
Did you see the way the umpire came tearing in there? He was very animated for that.
It's a giveaway, isn't it? The acceleration with 15 metres to go.
He upped the antes, that's for sure.
So Yorgie will take the kick for old Brighton. Goes beyond halfway along the boundary line. Olivier with the fist. It's towed through there by the Tunners forwards. Dick with a big tackle on Barter, who released the footy. Got it away to Walsh. He's got a Hope problem. What Hope brings him down holding the ball. So Jamie Hope. Well, this would most certainly be the dagger, the 13th old Brighton goal of the day. He'll have a shot for his first. He will kick from 40 metres out. 45-degree angle from right half forward. Just great tackling pressure from the big V forward, Hugo Higginbotham.
Yeah, it was. So that's what they're very good at, and he's had an excellent big V game as well. So he's a nice finish for him here. But that free kick from the umpire, well, not the umpire, for the insufficient intent.
There's Hope's on his way in. This one's close with the right-hand goal post to the wrong side. So Hope remains goalless. 12-17-89 old Brighton. So that's the only part of this second half that hasn't gone their way. It's been the execution in front of the big sticks. Old Scotch though, 8-11-59. So it's an even 30-point lead for the Tunners. 26-minute mark final term.
3-4-1-2 in this final term, favouring Brighton. So since quarter time, really, they've had a hold on this game. Scotch led at quarter time by 7, but since quarter time, Brighton have really shown more authority for mine than what Scotch has. Here's Lawrence. Scoreboard side of the ground goes towards Clark, although the umpire's blown the whistle, and it will come back. And Lawrence to kick over the mark, obviously. So umpire blows time off and he goes in short hitter Barter, who marks in front of the scoreboard, which shows they're 30 points behind here. Scotch, dying stages of this final term, through the middle of the ground, bouncing ball. Dennis there, upended by Butler, and he'll end up with a free kick here for Scotch in the centre of the ground, although the umpire's going the other way. Okay, Butler ends up with it. Righto, so he gets the free kick and goes to Edgar, and he marks just outside 45. He goes in to Richardson and he takes the mark here for Brighton, as easy as you like.
Yes, umpire really blowing the pee out of the bottom of that whistle, isn't he? It's really inserting themselves in the game in this last couple of minutes. But they've been very good, like you said, since quarter time, Brighton.
Yeah,
and
from mine they have anyway. They've just shown a bit more class.
Yeah.
Then Scotch, and Richardson's kicked one for the game so far. He's looking at his second. He'll kick from just on the 45-metre arc. Bowling green into the ground with the breeze. They lead by 5. He can make this 6 and a 36-point lead in the dying stages of this final term. Beautiful kick off the boot.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a ripper. And he's kicked his second, Richardson. So they go on to 13, third. They go on to 13, 17, 95. Scotch on 8-11-59. Margin 6 goals. And Richardson's kicked his third of the afternoon.
It's really blown out, isn't it? Because I remember it wasn't that long ago that Scotch are having a shot to put themselves within a couple of points of Brighton. So Brighton have just flexed their muscle here a bit with, slightly undermanned in the tall man department. And the rain didn't come as...
no, definitely not.
I anticipated, so...
Everyone anticipated.
Even blue sky here now, Hugo. So,
I could have put the sheets on the line today, but anyway.
The Shetlands might still be grazing over in the forward
Do you
pocket.
do the washing?
Yeah, I do everything.
Yeah, you're a good man. Yeah.
Hill in the middle, brought down by a pair of Cardinals. I tell you what, I've been really impressed with Charlie Richardson. They've needed to find a couple of young tall guys, with Sam Flockhart done for the year, Max Benier done for the year, Felix Flockhart not playing today. He's been one that maybe you can put in your book for the back end of the season for the Tunners, as Henry Brown of Scotch has the footy, kicks it inside 50. Montanaro at his bootlaces couldn't be clean. Must be off the ground, though he doesn't get the shooter's roll, as it were. Just threw the kitchen sink at the... not quite the drop kick, but he just tried to hack it out of the air and it got wrong side of that goalpost. So he misses. He's had a number of opportunities to kick his fourth, Fraser. It's just not quite happening for him. 8-12-60 Old Scotch, 13-17-95 Old Brighton. Sorry, Hugo.
He hasn't given up either, has he?
Oh, hell no.
He gives his all. He absolutely gives his all.
If you had a team of him, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
So here's Yorgie out of this goal square, and look at the barrel. That's an absolute ripper. You don't see enough of that, and Clark marked it beautifully. One of the marks of the day. That's right on the siren. Beautiful torp and a beautiful mark. And Brighton win this game down here at the Camberwell Sportsground. 13-17-95 have defeated Old Scotch 8-12-60. That quarter going 30 minutes.
Well, that was quite a display after quarter time. An undermanned Brighton, and we spoke about that. But what we said before, the experienced players really stood up. But Harry Hill today, that was an amazing performance. He's just willed the rest of his players to lift around him when he needed to. And they got on top with the clearances as well, because, Olivier, he fought really hard all day, a single-handed battle against two very accomplished, experienced, or the big V-Ruckman in Grant. So very impressive performance there. And that's an important win for them, Brighton, because they'll be really focusing now on maintaining the top two, and that's an important step in doing that.
13-17-95 Old Brighton, 8-12-60 Old Scotch, 35-point win for the Tunners. Skins Player of the Day wins a pair of cutting-edge Skins compression tights, thanks to Skins, the pioneers of compression. His name is Harry Hill. He'll be joining Raj Johnston for a chat in just a few moments' time. We'll also get to ask Harry a couple of questions, which will be great. Always a great participant as far as VAFA media goes. The goal kickers today for the Tunners, 3 each for Harry Hill and then Richardson as well, 2 for Pryor and Fanning. Singles for Dimatina, Luke Travers and Gregson. For Old Scotch, 3 for Fraser Morrisby. Singles for Clark, Barter, Henry Brown, Farah and Grant as well. So Old Scotch 60, Old Brighton 95. It's a 35-point win for the Tunners, who look towards the back end of the season now with an eye on consolidating their place inside the top two. The Old Zavarians winning handily over the Old Haileyburyans. We'll bring you the scores for that one in our post-match show that's coming up in just a few minutes' time. So, Old Brighton's now won its last 2 against Old Scotch. They broke a 2-game losing streak, as it were, to the Cards, as we might get word that Harry Hill might be joining us up in the commentary box post-game as well. So, he's coming in just a few minutes' time. A chance for maybe a longer-form chat there, Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Yes, and I think this is the first time Brighton's won here since 2016, Paddy.
Correct.
Since you were in primary school back then, mate.
What was I doing in 2000? Actually, let's not talk about that, shall we? So, the last game for Harry Hill, as Raj Johnston comes up to join us in the commentary box. He had 37 disposals against Old Scotch last time they met, 26 contested possessions, 13 clearances and a goal. today, I reckon you could put him in the book for at least 30 and 3 goals. He loves playing against the Cards. I think it's something about missing out in that grand final, unfortunately, with the concussion last year, that he's making up for lost opportunities as the Scotch guys head off the ground. I'm just noticing Andy Gelbart, who we missed this on the boundary. His left arm's in a sling. He's in his civvies, as it were. So must have exited this game earlier. So that's not good news for the Cards, who are short-handed themselves. We talk a lot about how Brighton is short on numbers at this point of the year, but the skipper in a sling for the Cards, not a great sign for the back end of the year.
Out of all the games I've seen Hill play, that was a ripper.
Very good.
That got his team going.
Yep.
That alone hand. I don't know what his stats are. I don't give a about
Tinker's
stats.
cuss, I think
Exactly right. But it's what he shows.
Yeah.
I don't care. He won that game for them.
Yeah, it's the captain's game, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Players,
one of the best I've seen him play in all the time that I've been here.
Players lift around him, Brady. I'd love to see I'd love to see his intercept possessions today, because he would have had 7 or 8 where he's just come through, read the ball really well, and against the tide turned the ball the other way.
He's a chain player, it's the frightening part with Harry Hill, because a lot of people see the contested possessions and clearances number and think, okay, you've got to stop him on the inside. But the problem is that he wins the ball on the inside, then quick as a flash, he's on the outside getting involved in the chain, then he's kicking goals. And he hits the scoreboard. So he's up to 13 games, 12 goals this year. For an inside midfielder, that's a great clip.
It's those 1%ers as well. Right there. The chat. Like, what's his chat like out there? What's he like as a leader on the field when the ball's nowhere near him?
Well, it'd be like having another coach out there.
So, you know, that's what's impressive.
I think that might be in his future for Harry. And you do see, Petchy, that the young guys, especially at the Cardinals, if they're going to try and ruffle the feathers at old Brighton, they look for one man, it's Harry Hill, because they want to take it up to the head of the snake, as it were. And he's imperturbable, the skipper. You can't knock him off his game.
Well, as Hugo would know, he's coached football. It's not around one person. It's around the team. But one person can make a team.
Oh, definitely.
And that's the difference.
Yeah. Because there were times there where it was a 50-50 game and he just lifted and just sort of drove that impetus to
his teammates.
Yeah, exactly.
And they lift, so 60 plays, 95. Brighton winning it by 35 points to it. Just sort of strengthen their hold and foothold inside the top 2 in top flight. We'll go through the results around the grounds in just a few moments' time. Gentlemen, let's tick off our goals and marks of the day before we do speak to Harry Hill and then also the coach of Old Brighton, Marcel Bruin, up in the commentary box. Goal of the day is for Chadstone Motors. They're proud to be associated with Old Scotch, and they're just a convenient 15 minutes drive from McQueen Park here to their family-owned location in Oakley. I can't really go past the first goal of the day. Hugo Higginbotham, Ben Pryor running against the boundary.
That's what I've got as well. It was an amazing goal and started the day off beautifully, but we were right behind that too. That did not deviate. It was one of the straightest kicks I've ever seen. That was, well worthy of goal of the day.
Our mark of the day is for McQueen Financial Group, an Old Scotch Premier partner since 2016, celebrating their 31st year of providing specialist advice in wealth, lending, accounting and insurance. A little bit harder to pick here, Simon Petch, but Jack Brown's intercepting efforts, I think, today for Old Scotch in a tough game of footy stood out to me. Suggestions from the floor?
Moresby stood out for me. Look, he's a powerful man. He's not the quickest bloke.
No, never win a running race.
He puts himself in that right spot, and I think out of all the marks that he took here today, they were all good, and I'd certainly give him the award today, purely based on his work rate. Like, it was just great to watch.
Yeah, I think that one where he was coming through half forward here, where he looked like he should have never got near it and took it in one hand.
Yeah,
So,
those sort of blokes, as we said during the call, if you had a team like that, you'd be you wouldn't lose a game.
No.
Because his passion for it, you can see it. He may not be the fittest bloke on the ground, but he never gives up.
Yeah, no, he guards his space well.
Yeah.
So, and you don't get the ball off him, do you?
No, no, you'd have to absolutely wrestle it out of him to get it. He wants that footy.
It's a great thing with Fraser Moresby. It's quite similar to Will Clark, who spent a lot of time in the reserves, where he played 16 games in the twos last year, so he wasn't really thought about as a senior footballer, sort of came in as a late in when the likes of Tarrant and Valentine weren't available. But he's had a spot open up because James Tarrant's been playing for North Melbourne, because Ryan Valentine's been playing for Coburg, and we haven't seen much of them in Cardinal colours at all. And he's taken the opportunity. So he's up to 13 goals from his 8 games. And every time I see him, he looks just to be that little bit more confident, Simon Petch.
Well, the more games you play with your teammates around you, of course you're going, and they'll leave the door open for you to run into.
Yeah,
they'll make sure you've got enough room to do what you're out there to do, and that's kick goals.
Yeah.
Let's go around the grounds for McQueen Financial Group. Across William Buck Premier Men's Division will start at the Melbourne University Oval, where St Kevin's, they shook off the heartbreaking loss they had at that venue to the Blacks earlier in the season today. 12-15-87 to 5-5-35 winners over the University Blues. So the Scobbers doing it easily as they turn for home at the back end of the season, trying to lock up yet another spot inside the finals playing positions. Collegians University Blacks, that one's still going on account of the injury suffered by Sam Bennett earlier this afternoon. The Blacks, though, 11-9-75, currently lead it over Collegians 8-3-51. So the Uni Blacks continuing to press a case for a place inside the top 4 because they will jump ahead if they win today of Old Scotch on the Authorsport Victoria ladder. Over at St Bernard's College, here's a story for you. D-Lar led it 41-6 at quarter time. They've lost by 2 points, Hugo. 10-13-73 St Bernard's, 10-11-71 D-Lar Cell. Getting word from our executive producer, Jason Bennett, that it was Marcus Holland for the Snow Dogs who kicked the goal that put them in front at the 31-minute mark.
I tell you, you could just imagine that balcony at St Bernard's would have just been going off there today.
I don't think it's attached to the rest of the building.
And the thing is, what a great game, and what a great effort by D-Lar. Look, they haven't won a game, but it seems as though in the last 4 weeks, they've really started to gel. Unfortunately, they'll go down, but they're not going to go down without a fight. And that obviously was a great fight today.
Yeah, and when you speak to anyone down at D-Lar, their footy director, Bill Tyson especially, you get the sense that the club, at least off-field, is really well set up. They haven't quite had the on-field guys. You think of someone like Christian Algieri, who's such a talent, but has been almost too good. He's playing for Collingwood VFL every week and not plying his trade in the ammo. So they haven't been able to find the top-flight talent, but they are a top-flight footy club, I'd suggest. Hugo, the last game, before I get to your analysis of those results, Old Haileybury 7-4-46, big loss. Old Zavs 20-12, 132. So that's a pumping. That's an 86-point pumping at the hands of the Old Zavarians.
They're flexing some muscle now.
The aura is well and truly back at Toorak Park. Cozzy and his men are up and about at their newly refurbished venue for 2025. They will be top of the ladder tonight, despite the Tunners winning as well. So, Old Zavs, they will lead us off on the Authorsport Victoria ladder as things stand 11-2. Old Brighton also 11-2, locked inside the top 2 positions. St Kevin's back at 8-5 will lead Old Haileybury at 8-5 on percentage, and then the University Blacks 7-6. This is a live ladder score. They're currently ahead of Collegians by 4 goals. Will go in 5th position tonight. 7-6. 1 game outside of the top 4. Raj Johnston
will be on his way shortly, but in the meantime, I've got the Skins player of the game, Harry Hill, for a few questions. Congrats, Harry. Well played today. You're instrumental in the win. It seems like after quarter time, the pressure just went up and you just outplayed them in the end.
Yeah, we had a heavy focus on the contest. We know Scotch are really good in there and like to move the ball really well. So we thought if we could get on top in the contest and get the ball forward, and forwards bring great pressure, and then we can sort of lock it in there, we'll give ourselves the best chance. So, after quarter time was pleasing with that, especially that third quarter. I thought we really lifted into the wind, and I think we outscored them in that quarter as well. So that was really impressive.
Throw up to you guys with a few questions.
Hello, Harry Hill. Congratulations on a best-on-ground performance, mate. You must really like playing Old Scotch. You were superb in the last time out against this footy club. You were superb again today with, I'm sure, another 30-plus disposals and 3 goals. Take us through that third quarter, mate. What was the address at half-time? And you came out firing certainly afterwards.
Yeah, we just wanted to break it down into moments. You know, you can get ahead of yourself in footy, and we didn't want to do that. So we just broke down moment by moment. We were able to execute the moments, win a few crucial moments and get the ball forward. And I thought our forwards were really dangerous playing in front. And we were able to capitalise, kick straight, which was great.
So, Harry, I thought all your midfield was excellent today, mate, especially with, undersized rucking there. That's always tough, but you're really on top in the clearances. But then Fisher went off, obviously, for the rest of the game. How did you have to restructure in there with losing one of your key components?
Yeah, it's tough. He's had a pretty good record, Fish. He's barely been injured over the last probably 6 years. So, yeah, sort of have to readjust. I think Fraser Gregson, number 29, he was awesome. He's sort of moved into a full-time mid-role over the last few weeks and it's been great. We know we've got some guys who can go through there. We trained through the pre-season, guys like Geordie Seeger, Jamie Hope, who give us sort of like a different look. There's Fish. He's just heading home now to rest up for the night. So yeah, we've got a few guys that can run through there. Kai DiMartina's moved from his normal role on the wing and moved in there and done really well. So yeah, credit to Yondre in the ruck. I thought he fought really hard. Obviously, fortunate enough to play with Sam Grant a few weeks ago and know the quality of ruckman he is. So yeah, I thought Yondre battled really hard and sort of was able to negate his influence a little bit and then helped us mids to get on top in patches.
Harry, it would be remiss of me to not ask you about your final quarter, mate. You had 5 minutes on the ground. I think I called you Superman at one point. You were in everything. You were setting up goals. You were kicking them yourself. You're a very humble man, so I know that you won't look after yourself with your comments here. But, geez, your form looks really good, mate. How are you feeling towards the back end of the season?
Yeah, feeling good. The week off last week was definitely needed. But, no, feeling really good. Fortunately, the body's held up so far. Trying to look after myself and do all the right things to make sure I'm getting up every week. But, yeah, feeling good. Obviously, we're in a pretty good position, banked the wins early, and now it's all about sort of finding the right mix and getting guys back from injury and travel and how it all works out. So I was really pleased with the effort today. I thought, you know, a lot of young guys, inexperienced guys really held up, especially in that back line. So that's really exciting, going to make it tough for the coaches in the next few weeks.
Yeah, good problem to have, Harry. So we'll just talk about the young guys, a very young side today, but how much work do you do with them, being an older statesman yourself now, an accomplished player?
Yeah, it goes pretty quick. I mean, I just try to sort of half to them how quick it does go and really cherish all the moments, you know, like it doesn't feel like it was that long ago when I was playing out here as a 19-year-old against Scotch in B grade, and then, you know, fast forward 10 years later and sort of getting, not to the end, but in the second half of my career. So, yeah, just try to make them feel as comfortable and confident as possible. The biggest thing I say to them is just bring your strengths. You know, you're here for a reason, you're selected for a reason, bring your strengths, and the rest will look after itself. The boys will support you.
Harry, you're our Skins Player of the Day, and you've won yourself a pair of cutting-edge Skins compression tights, thanks to Skins, the pioneers of compression. Before we let you go, any questions we should throw Marcel Bruin's way when he's up here?
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
I mean, he's...
You've got free reign here, so anything you like.
No, I think he'll be... Yeah, he was a little bit frustrated with a few things that went on Thursday night, but I think he'll be in a much better mood today, so that's great.
Thanks, Harry. Well done on your performance today, mate. Congratulations on the victory. Looking forward to catching up with you across the back end of this season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for all your work.
The skipper of Old Brighton, Harry Hill, our best player on the ground today. He wins himself a pair of Skins compression tights, and I dare say we might be speaking to a few members of the Tunners brass over the back end of this season if they continue on their way 11-2 and well and truly entrenched inside the top 4 and the top 2 of the Author Sport Victoria ladder for William Buck Premier Men's. Hugo, the result that stands out most for you across this weekend. So the winners, St Kevin's, Old Brighton, the University Blacks are currently 28 points up at the 30-minute mark, so we'll lump them in as well. St Bernard's and the Old Zavarians. What stands out to you most?
Oh, it's got to be the Old Zavarians over the Haileybury there. You know, that's a 1v3 clash, and that's a huge result. That sort of says to the competition, we're here and we mean business. And on the other side of that, that puts in a couple of question marks about Haileybury.
Exactly what we spoke about before even the ball was bounced here today. I was disappointed in their game out at Scotch College many weeks ago now. But that is a thumping. And they were third on the ladder. You would have thought they might have gone in there with, after this break, all guns blazing, let's have a real crack. Now, they probably did have a real crack, and that wasn't good enough. But gee whiz, to be thumped by that much.
And not register a score in the first quarter. That's you know, that's a telling sign there. There's something wrong there.
Well, they've got time to sort it out, but gee whiz, I want to sort it out quickly because I don't know what their run home's like, but that's not a good start to the back end of the season.
So let's go through Old Haileybury's finish to the year. So they get the Blues at home next week, D-Lar away, so a reasonable couple of weeks, and then it gets pretty tricky. They host St Kevin's, they go away to play St Bernard's, and the Snow Dogs will probably need to win another game of footy at least to try and escape relegation. Last game of the season against Old Scotch in South Caulfield. I reckon there's a chance that might decide our finals participant for 2025, that game between Old Haileybury and Old Scotch, because it's feeling like now a a 3-horse race for the finals playing position.
Yes,
because
just call it 4th spot.
Yep, there we go. I'll get the words out.
But then it's the bottom end as well.
Yeah.
Who goes down with D-La?
Yeah, so it feels like it's Brighton, Zavs and St Kevin's, and then throw a blanket over 3 for that 4th position.
Correct. Well, very rare that I get to correct you. But going back through that run as well.
You've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great. You're going to play that. There's going to be a high repeat. There's my place, that one.
That's going on the podcast.
But it's going to be interesting, that game, D-La Haileybury. Okay, look at D-La's form in the last couple of weeks. They've gotten better. And then that's a game where it's last year's B-grade grand final.
Yes.
So D-La they'll be playing, they know they're going down, but they'll be playing, they'll give you everything for a win, those blokes, and they're getting a bit more confidence.
Well, they did today. Like last kick of the game.
Yeah.
Like fair dinkum.
So I've just been told that shot from Marcus Holland that put them ahead at the 31-minute mark was a 55-metre set shot.
Oh, no.
By about 8:30 tonight, that'll become 75 metres. It'll be a torpedo.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you can just imagine the social club there now.
Yeah.
But gee whiz, D-La, you've got to take your hats off to them. They've come into this competition. They knew it was going to be tough.
Yes.
They haven't won a game, but in the last 3 to 4 weeks, you can see what's going. Like, they're not going to trouble any sides that are in the top echelon. But gee whiz, St Bernard's, had they have dropped that at home tonight, they would have dropped their heads that big that all of a sudden they'd be in that relegation zone of, oh, wow, well, we should have won that. And they look back on their season thinking that if they did go down, and if they do go down, maybe that loss to D-La would have played a vital cog in it. But they've won by the last kick of the day.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
As it stands right now, Petch at the bottom end of the ladder, D-La yet to win a game, 0-13, so they're going down in 10th. But then the battle to stay out of 9th, it's a heated one. So at the moment, it'll be the Blues, 3 wins, 8 losses and 2 draws with a percentage of nearly 90, which is remarkable for a team in 9th.
Which is a good percentage, isn't it?
So they're on 16 points. 2 points clear Collegians, they are 18 points, 4 wins and 1 draw, so half a game ahead of the Blues. So the Blues will need to win another game of footy or draw another game of footy to even that one up. And then you get St Bernard's, who are 5, 7 and 1, 22 points. So they are currently 6 points clear of the relegation zone. Remembering last year that Fitzroy and St Bernard's both won 5 games apiece. Fitzroy went down, St Bernard's survived on percentage ultimately. So 5 typically gets you through. 5.5, which St Bernard's have right now, generally will get you through. But, oh, geez, you would not want to be one of these clubs in the last weekend of the season the way this year has gone.
Well, that's the beauty of relegation, and the system that the Ammos have got is that you've got 3 sections, haven't you? You've got the top 4, you've got that middle row, and then you've got the relegation zone.
So here's an interesting game for you next week. Haileybury play Blues. So Haileybury coming off a massive loss, and the Blues are desperate to win one. And the Blues, they've got a good percentage because they kicked a lot of goals this year. So very interesting. It's shaping up nicely, gentlemen.
Marcel Bruins just popped into the commentary box. Marcel, you've walked in on a discussion about the Autosport Victoria ladder for William Buck Premier Men's, which I think will suit you just fine, considering as things stand right now, you're going to be in 2nd position tonight on percentage after the Olds Varians beat up on the Bloods. You're 11-2. You're 3 wins inside the top 2. Things must be feeling pretty good for you right about now.
It's definitely a better way to be on the good side of that particular game. That sets us up. We certainly split up the next 6 games into 2 blocks, and we're looking at it in terms of personnel. We're still waiting for a few troops to arrive back, and that'll bolster us through the back half of maybe the 2nd block. Yep. So that was a tremendous win, really exceptional win. We haven't won out here a lot. It's a really challenging ground and obviously a very challenging team to play against. So we're chuffed, mate, to get that win.
I think the last time you won a game here was 2016, and the last time you took points was 2017 where you had a draw. So it's been an unhappy hunting ground as far as that's been concerned. But you haven't actually played here that often, typically. So let's go through the game of footy. That 3rd quarter stood out to me is when you really took the advantage. I asked this question to your skipper, Harry Hill, about what happened at half-time to turn things around, because it did feel that Scotch, I suppose, with its bigger bodies and the fact that Tom Fisher was done for the day as well, it felt like they could get away from you. That didn't happen.
Yeah, we had a massive focus on not changing terribly much from what we talked about pre-game. But for us, it was a matter of staying in the moment, really. The game had shifted from being I think we spoke about it yesterday. It was going to be a lot of contest work, and we needed to be ready to engage and be able to fight on the inside, keep and hold our shape on the outside. So when the ball spat out, we were able to impact. And I thought our guys really got to work. Fraser Gregson, the ball, and has really, I think, shifted the momentum in the game so that. And it just really helped our backs. Our backs were probably a little bit undersized against a couple of those talls who were taking some clunks inside forward 50. And we were just able to get, if we weren't winning the stoppage, we were able to get decent enough pressure on Scotch to effectively limit how good their forward entry was. But they worked their guts out. We're able to get some forward ball out of contest and get it in. It was really challenging, obviously, to score down this end. Scotch did it in the last quarter, but we certainly did it in that third quarter, which set us up, and it was just off the back of work rate and moment by moment, really.
So when we spoke yesterday, you wanted a lot out of your experienced players, and you'd be very proud of them today. But you've got to be happy with the young guys who lifted around them.
Didn't they? Yeah, they really did. Charlie Richardson's kick 3. Sammy Fanning, I think, kicked 2 and did a really, really fantastic job against an absolute, one of the best ruckmen in the competition when he had to go in and give Yondi a chop out. But he just competed in the air. Corky, Angus Cork's playing his second game of senior football and was just, he was stellar against St Kevin's, and he was absolutely exceptional again today. Just those 1v1s where he was undersized, he was able to get a hand in. Gave us a lot of drive as well when the ball hit the deck. So I love the way that he plays the game. He's a real competitor, which means that he can play undersized and he can play on smalls and talls. But yeah, those certainly stand out in terms of relative inexperience. Comparatively, but as you said, you got guys like Harry, you got guys like Fraser Gregson. Yondi's come back in and rucking really superbly for us, having played a lot of senior football and not trained a huge amount with us this year in the absence of obviously Felix and Sam going down as well. So, I'm incredibly proud of, and Benny Pryor probably kept us in the game, as a half forward. You don't often say that, but, there were so many pivotal contests that he won or was able to keep the ball in our forward half that was really important when Scotch were pressing.
I think the only man who's watched Harry Hill play as much as you, or even maybe his running mate Tom Fisher, is Simon Petch, who was calling the game with us today. He reckons that's the best game he's seen Harry play. He was just supreme. His 3 goals, the way he started the third and fourth quarters, where he just puts the midfield on the back a little bit for 5 minutes and then brings up his teammates around him. He's just a superb player and leader.
And the intercept possessions today, they were key. They were absolutely key when you're against the tide.
Well, I've probably run out of superlatives to
so have we.
To speak about Harry. It's right up there with as impressive a game as I've seen Has play. But I've seen him play some games where he wills himself almost. He plays high minutes. Yeah. He gets a fair bit of pressure and physical pressure around contest, but you're spot on. When he gets outside and he cuts off balls that he has no right to get to, and then you see him in the forward 50. Yeah,
the second efforts are amazing.
He'd be as good as I've seen at getting from contest to contest. And that's just why he stays in the game, because he can impact when he's around the football and he just gets to more contests.
Well, it's a game of numbers, isn't it? The more contests you get to, the more chance you are of getting the ball. That's what you say to young blokes all the time.
Yeah, it's absolutely spot on. And then obviously, that last quarter where he was able to get great reward. Yeah. Anytime your mids can get scoreboard pressure is really important. And it's also great that he gets that reward for effort. He's not just putting his head in the hole.
Well, you needed that today as well. You needed a spread of goal kickers. We spoke of that as well with a lot of the keys out for you. So it's all come together.
Now we can say that now.
Hey, what happened Thursday night? Why were you frustrated?
For your insight, I asked Harry what to ask you, and he said, he was a bit grumpy on Thursday night, the coach.
I can't believe that for a second. I wouldn't see a grumpy bone in your body.
No, not at all. I'm positive the entire time. But no, it's
It was a bit cold down there.
Yeah, okay. a bit windy.
Brighton Beach Oval.
Yeah, yep.
Wasn't best conditions.
It's always cold down there.
That's right.
Hey, you've got 2 weeks there in a row now coming up. So St Bernard's next weekend. Then probably the clash of the home and away season, the way you two are going, against the old Zavarians. Have you circled that one already?
Not at all. No. We know it's coming up. We love playing against them. I think they love playing against us.
Well, they had a camera here today too.
Did they?
I saw Ralph over there.
There you go. Look, from a fair way out, we could see that we were likely to play finals. You never say, obviously, you're definitely in, but their form over the last 8 weeks has been exceptional. They're kicking big scores. They're shifting the ball pretty effectively. And, we've got a really big task ahead of us to try and do what we did to them last time. I don't think that's going to be the case. But, I think we're going to play them, 1 or 2 times.
Feels that way.
So you mentioned the last 6 games. Tick 1 box today, so you've got 2 blocks, which is a good way to set it up. So you've got, obviously, Bernie's them Zavs.
Yep.
And then your second block. Now, you're playing basically the bottom of the ladder. Is that probably not it's dangerous times, I know, but you've done the work. You'll maintain top 2 now, looking at that.
Yep.
It's going to give you a chance for, not a freshen up, but possibly to freshen a few of the guys who have played all that season. Will you look at doing something like that heading into the finals? Or you don't want to flirt with form?
If you get the opportunity, I think it'd be smart to. Yep. I don't know if we'll get the opportunity just based on personnel.
Yeah.
As much as the guys that are overseas probably think they're feeling really good and they can roll back in, I genuinely don't believe that they'll be ready to rock at an A-grade level like that. You watch that game and you got to be fit. You got to be ready. You got to have your touch. All of those kinds of things. And even in that second block, if we look at the last 3 games, D-La are still playing really good football. Collegians play really good football, and they're a tough matchup. We get them at home, thankfully. And then Uni Blues, the score or their current win-loss record does not reflect how well they play. So we'll need to be, we're looking to obviously ascend and keep building on that form and refine what we're doing so that we hopefully, I think we're not necessarily guaranteed finals. Well, I think we might be now. I haven't had a look at the ladder, but we certainly put ourselves in a good position.
Yep.
It would take a remarkable thing as I look at it. So you're 4 games inside the top 4 sweep. So not quite, but maybe 1 more week.
There you go. So, but we don't look that far ahead. We just got to get our process right.
Yep.
And in an ideal scenario, we have the best personnel available, and we're, as I said, building each week towards that opportunity come September.
Before we let you go, Soup, you mentioned Sam Flockhart. He's done for the year, unfortunately, with that ACL. Felix didn't play today.
Yep.
Is he too far away from returning?
He's got another week on sandy white beaches at 28 degrees, I think, over there at the moment. So, look, but part of it, and again, there's guys, Campbell Tweedy's over there at the moment. He's away for a big time, but I understand what a fair few of them have done. Campbell's been studying for the last 5 years and had always sort of wanted this little block to go away. Felix has come back and played with us, and part of that was that he was going to take a little bit of time off and go overseas. So I'll certainly take that. If I can get him for 14 games, it's pretty handy in the general season, and then obviously want him ready for come finals time. I'm trying to think of... and Luca McNabb is the other one who, it would typically be on a VFL list, but he's back with us this year, in the knowledge that he was going to go away. So whilst it's challenging for the entire group, not just obviously for the coaching group, it's really challenging for the entire group. You put a lot of guys under duress and under pressure with having to play minutes, and the reserves got an absolutely outstanding win today. With a few guys that haven't played a lot of footy that might have come off the couch this week, it's just an amazing effort. Paddy's done a great job to get those guys into a position where they are today. I get what they've done. We sort of got to take it and work with it and work towards that last block being where we get these guys back in some relative shape to impact at A grade level.
Well, what we can do, I've got a solution for that problem for you. Me being a former coach, if you guys buy me a ticket over there, I'll take some footy, some cones. Give us one of the blokes' gold Amex card from around the club.
I was going to bring you in, and I was going to do that.
No. Look. I don't want to come straight into the whole group. I'll go.
You can hear that sound. That's the sound of Hugo reversing at top speed.
but more than willing to do that because. Look, and we train late at night as well, so to avoid the heat of the day. And what could go wrong?
No, not a thing. I think. Well, I'll get a freshen up, maybe.
Yeah.
5 young footballers in Hugo Higginbotham and Mykonos. Oh, boy. What breaks first. Marcel Bruin, go and celebrate your win, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, Paddy. Thanks, boys.
Coach of Brighton, Marcel Bruin, he's just locking himself up a space inside the top 4 with one more win, I'd expect. But they are currently 3 wins inside the top 2, the Tunners, and they're eyeing off a big September. Hugo, we are just about done.
Thanks, Paddy. It was an outstanding game, a very physical game, great one to watch, and had a lot of fun, as we always do. And isn't this great time of year? We've got the run to the finals now. It's really heating up. So what we do it for, Paddy?
Correct. A big cheerio also to Simon Petch, who does such a wonderful job on this broadcast every week. It's great to have him back. And Raj Johnston as well, who was supreme on the boundary. You survived the conditions okay, Raj?
I did, Paddy. It wasn't as bad as we thought it was. Wasn't as much rain as we might have anticipated. But as you said, it was quite a heated clash between 2 good sides. And there are lots of profanities along the boundary. Not that all of them can be repeated on air, but that was a great game.
I'd like to think that a few of those gentlemen who are thinking about reliving their glory days saw you with the microphone and thought, oh, not around Raj.
Absolutely.
It's like the John T. Rhodes rule. Don't go there. It's been a pleasure bringing you this broadcast every weekend. A pleasure once again today. The VAFA William Buck SEN Match of the Day, streaming on the VAFA website and on the SEN website and app. My name's Paddy Grindlay from Hugo Higginbotham, Raj Johnston and Simon Petch. It's farewell from Camberwell Sportsground. We'll see you next week.
This has been the SEN Match of the Day. Thanks to William Buck. Join us again next week on the SEN app, sen.com.au and vafa.com.au.
Keep up to date with everything that's happening around the VAFA by subscribing to our socials. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, LinkedIn and TikTok. Join in the fun with the best pics, videos, stories and reels from around the competition. Send us your best and we might share them around the league. VAFA Socials. Search VAFA and VAFA Women's on your favourite platforms.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Is your club celebrating a player milestone? Let us know at VAFA Media and we'll feature it in the Amateur Footballer. We're always on the lookout for stories that acknowledge outstanding achievements and the clubs behind them. Email us at media@vafa.com.au.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.